Oh boy. Oh boy. So already one hater in the comment section calling me a PDF file because apparently I'm like a Trump defender. Uh Man, people just don't really understand where I'm coming from. It's this guy or Fuentes, and Fuentes is always late. I know, right? Yeah, Fuentes is always late. That's where I get it from, I guess. I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't watch him. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody had a really wonderful 4th of July. I had a wonderful weekend. I had a wonderful 4th of July. It was very wholesome, very peaceful, very quiet. I get a little bit anxious, though, around the 4th of July. When I was younger, I thought it was always like awesome. Stuff is blowing up, smells like, gunpowder everywhere, and there's a bunch of fireworks and stuff. But now I'm just like, you know what? None of those bottle rockets better land in my lawn, in my artificial lawn. I'll be so pissed because that was not cheap. So now I'm just a little too worried. I'm a little too panicky. But other than that, it was wonderful. I got friends visiting really soon, and yeah, the show's not gonna be that long. Well, who knows? It probably will be. I always say that, then it's like 4 hours later, I'm just like, oh crap. But yeah, there's quite a few things to talk about tonight. Like the America Party. There's only like one thing I really wanted to that I thought was kind of interesting regarding it. We gotta talk about the Epstein stuff because for whatever reason, this Epstein story is just never gonna go away. It seems. A wise man once said that there would never ever be an intelligent conversation about the movie Fight Club and The Matrix, and that wise man was me. However, there needs to be an amendment to that wise saying of mine. Now we got to include the Epstein scandal. I don't think there's ever going to be an intelligent conversation about it. And a lot of people, like, I had a really unique and different take regarding the Epstein stuff. So I guess we just got to dive into it. I'm just gonna go off on a tirade because I do have a lot to say, and a lot of people have been harassing me, calling me a little Jew, saying I'm like Mossad, calling me a PDF document, and my feelings are a little bit hurt. But the angrier people get, the more aggressive that they are regarding the things that I have said, just goes to highlight how right I am about this entire situation. So before we begin, let me just go ahead and we got to start. I got to do my spiel before we get started. So, greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining me on another exciting episode of the Watch Frogs. We go live every Tuesday night on the Watch Frogs channel, which is home to the Fake Crimes docu-series, a variety of other videos, and of course the Watch Frogs podcast. You can enjoy the show live on a variety of platforms like BitChute, Rumble, Trovo, dlive, Kick, Twitch, X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube. For those who prefer an audio-only experience of the show, you can head over to my Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else where podcasts exist. Links are in the description. If you wish to support the show and help keep the Watch Frogs independent, feel free to head over to my Subscribe Star page, Locals page, or perhaps toss a generous donation in my Cash App. You can also Super Chat. All Super Chats are read and very much appreciated. Once again, links are all in the description, wherever you may be enjoying the show. All right, so, guys, we serious talk. Serious talk. Hold on one second. I gotta hit this vape. It's almost out. I don't buy these. These were given to me. Okay, I'm not sponsored by Pulse or the Geek Bar Kids or whatever, but I got them for free, so whatever. It's better than going out and buying a pack of cigarettes since I didn't really pay for them. Dude, these stupid things are like $40, or they're like $25. I bought 2 of them once. I gave one to this girl because she hooked it up with one, and then like one of her friends stole it. It was pretty embarrassing. But yeah, man. I don't even know where to begin. Should we start with the America Party? Should we start with Epstein? I don't even know. The Epstein stuff is like fresh in everybody's mind because it was like it exploded today. And I've been thinking very, very hard about this. So I think we should start with what my position is on the whole Epstein fiasco. Do I believe he deleted himself in Minecraft? He deleted his save file? No, I don't believe that at all. I think somebody took him out. I think that's pretty self-evident. Do I believe that he was in cahoots with other violent, vicious, disgusting PDF files from the Middle East, from the UK, and of course from New York City and Hollywood? Yes, I do believe that. I do believe that children were victimized. I do believe that there is a satanic element to what was transpiring around Jeffrey Epstein. Do I believe that President Trump was involved in any of this nefarious, nasty behavior and activities, illegal activities? No, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that for 1 second. But yet here I am being called a defender of PDF documents. I am being called to, I guess, in a weird way, disavow President Trump. And I'm not going to do that. And I first off, I don't even believe the president of the United States is in agreement with that so-called memo that was dropped by the DOJ, by the FBI, and all these figureheads of these agencies are saying that there's no knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein being a Mossad asset or a CIA asset or anything of that sort. I don't believe he believes that. They're outright denying the involvement of any other individual in this predator enterprise. I don't believe President Trump believes that at all. Prior to the 2016 election, President Trump came out and he explicitly stated that there was that former President Bill Clinton is going to be in a lot of trouble because of the Epstein Island. You know, I mean, this is a guy. He said this in front of Hannity. He was on stage. He was speaking to Hannity, and he brought that up. And it was music to people's ears because a lot of people want to see these politicians that were involved held accountable for their heinous behavior. They want to see Hollywood go down, per se, or at least that's what I kind of sort of used to believe. But the reality is, a lot of the grifters on the right, they rely too much on the existence of Hollywood, their presence in the world. That is their bread and butter. I don't think they want these Hollywood elites to be thrown in prison because they would lose their viewership. A lot of these people are just one-trick ponies. They heavily rely on the existence of these people to make their money. So I don't foresee them going anywhere or wanting to go anywhere. And again, it's like, and if these people genuinely believed the way that I do, that these Hollywood elites are involved in this nefarious behavior, then why do you continue to essentially provide free advertising to these people to the tune of a few $1 million? The kind of advertising that people like Jeremy from the Quartering, a lot of the douchebags on the Timcast network, that ecosystem, the kind of advertisement that they provide for Cape shit, for Star Wars garbage, etc., it's probably in the millions at this point. And yet, in the same breath, they are putting on display this phony outrage about Jeffrey Epstein. I believe that a lot of crazy stuff has gone on in the world. I believe a lot of crazy stuff has transpired with the people in Hollywood, the Middle East, the UK, et cetera, et cetera. I believe all that. Now, I'm not arrogant enough to think that I can do anything about what these guys and girls have done. I've almost lost my channel speaking about this. I called out somebody. It was a comedian. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say their name. It was a very popular male comedian. I called him out because this individual was credibly accused of engaging in illicit behavior, shady behavior with a minor. And I almost lost my channel for it. So again, I am in the camp of these people are bad and need to be dealt with. But in the grand scheme of things, there's really not much I can do. But on an individual level, there is something that you can, and I can myself do. We can separate ourselves. We can divorce ourselves from the primary sources of entertainment, and probably not just in the United States, but around the world. We can reject the propaganda from the internationalists that have engaged in this behavior. I am so committed to this that I've literally become like a quasi man of the cloth, speaking on behalf of our Lord and Savior, baby Jesus. Okay. And wanting to steer people away from consuming sin and gore that comes in the form of music produced by people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, rejecting cinema, cape shit, people like Kathleen Kennedy, the Tolkien chick that did the Harry Potter stuff, James Gunn, the Duffy brothers. I can go on. A lot of these people, Matt Groening. I could go on and on and on regarding the kinds of people. Bryan Singer. You know, a lot of these people have been credibly accused of doing shady stuff outside of the Epstein nonsense. And yet people still consume their garbage. Everybody will not shut the fuck up about Jeffrey Epstein. Yet they insist upon consuming Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, HBO. Again, I can go on. If you genuinely believe in the evil that these people have inflicted upon children and to a greater extent the world with their nefarious behavior, why do you continue to give them money? A lot of people do not like to be confronted with this harsh reality, but they are crying about a monster that they themselves fed. They, to an extent, are responsible for the existence of people like Jeffrey Epstein because they have engaged in sin and gore. And when I tell them, it is not difficult to defeat the internationalists. It is not difficult to live a clean life, divorced from this insanity. You must reject and burn down and destroy the self that wants to consume the pornography, consume their drugs, legal and illegal, consume their garbage music. They don't want to do that. They don't want to be confronted with this harsh reality that they themselves are a part of Jeffrey Epstein and his acolytes' schemes. I know Trump doesn't believe what Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino, etc., what they publish to the fake news industry. I know he doesn't believe it. I can only speculate as to why they are deliberately lying or misleading the public on these matters. And to a greater extent, I don't even think people like Alex Jones really wants this to go away. Alex Jones' bread and butter is stoking fear into the minds of morons by continuing to talk about this. It's like, oh, they're coming for the kids. Okay, yeah, they are. They're poisoning the minds of the kids. They're preying on the children. And he's going to continue to recycle this story until it's been put to rest. They make money off of it. They need Jeffrey Epstein, much like the woke Democrats. They need racism. They need this illusion of fascism. They need racism so much they will fabricate international stories to come after guys like me. And now we have this Epstein thing where a lot of content creators rely on Jeffrey Epstein's name to continue to make money. I don't think they want this guy to go away. They'll feign outrage. They'll put on display this act, but it's not real. None of this shit is real. And that's what people are not understanding. And again, like I've asked these people, many of whom have blocked me, what are you going to do about it, tough guy? You say we can't vote our way out of it? Fair enough. Then what are you going to do? Nobody has a response to that. I do. I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give these people money. I'm going to speak out against them by walking into the light and speaking the revealed word. The revealed word. And that word comes from baby Jesus. Remember, this is the same Alex Jones who claimed Sandy Hook was a fake event. I don't know if I can say the H word. And Adam Lanza never existed. Again, I don't know, man. I never really looked into it. I wasn't there. It seems like a jackass endeavor to dive into minutia of Sandy Hook. And it's also kind of a jackass endeavor to dive into minutia of this Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And again, it's like, y'all have already made up your minds. Most of these people that are these so-called influencers, they've already made up their minds about how they feel about this story and what they think transpired. And you know what? Maybe they're right about it being Mossad, it being a conspiracy, that they're covering things up, etc. Maybe all of that is true. Okay, let's take that as at face value that this is true. What are you going to do about it? Are you doing anything to advocate for children so they do not get caught up with creepy Hollywood elites? Because what the Hollywood elites and other creeps in New York, what these and elsewhere throughout the world, it's not like in the movies where they roll up on you in like some cargo van, and they just pick up kids from the streets and then they take them to like, you know, these lavish parties and mansions. That's not really how it happens. But if it was, again, what are these people doing other than whining and bitching and complaining? And one of the reasons why I'm thinking about this a lot differently than others is because, one, like, not me, of course, but society at large, they are complicit in enabling Hollywood, enabling these rich elites from New York and in the UK and elsewhere. They worship scientists, people that I've combated here on this channel and elsewhere, many of whom were involved with the horrible things that went on the island. But I fucking love science, so they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to hold them accountable because they don't want to be seen like fucking dunskies. They don't want to be seen as jackasses. I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I know the majority of these scientists are fucking liars and they're evil. People like Stephen Hawking was on that fucking island raping kids. And people who don't understand biology or anatomy or anything don't understand that, yes, even though he was disabled and not really able to move, he can still fuck a kid. He can still victimize a child. And he probably did. And there was only a few of us who were brave enough to fucking call it out. Because again, these fucking dorks fucking love science. All this shitty music, all these fucking pop stars, all these fucking Hollywood elites. You know, Tim Pool went to, he had a spat with a celebrity. I think it was Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller called him a fucking nerd to his face. And Tim Pool caved because they are so eager to be loved and approved of by the so-called elites that were allegedly abusing the kids. I don't give a fuck who likes me or approves of me. I'm not afraid to fucking call people out, call them fucking bitches. And again, if this bothers you so much, why don't you look in the mirror and learn to lead a better life, a clean life, and divorce yourself from this poison and just watch what happens. That's what I did. I had my reawakening moment a long time ago. I don't do drugs. I don't really drink. I don't consume the goy slop in the form of food or cinema or entertainment, if you will. And it's hard for people to break away from them because they're fucking addicted. People are addicted to these people. The normies, if you will, these so-called influencers, they're addicted to the clout. They're addicted to the attention. They can't, again, their content relies on Hollywood existing. Nobody wants to talk about that. And again, this moral outrage, all this fake bullshit. Again, you got to stick up your ass about these creeps in Hollywood and New York, etc. You got to stick up your ass about them abusing women, abusing children. Yet many of these people will defend Mystery Meat Boy Andrew Tate and his brother. They'll defend the cuckold Sneeko and his gaggle of friends. Many of whom have admitted to really heinous shit. If you watch Willie Mack's show, he did a really great expose on these guys. All these people are fucking dirtbags. And, you know, they're shady as hell. They behave like Epstein. They behave like P. Diddy. But they're cool with them. There's no issue there. I mean, the guy was on fucking video beating the shit out of a woman. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. And it's like, oh, well, the woman came out and she denied that it was all, they planned it. It was a skit or it was a bit or something. Yeah, well, women lie. They will lie to protect people like Andrew Tate and like Jeffrey Epstein. There were a ton of people that protected Jeffrey Epstein and pretended that he wasn't like a part of the Democratic Party, that he didn't have his hands in the scientific community. All of them in tech. Ellen Pao, the former CEO of Reddit, you know, this woman literally admitted on Twitter, if I remember correctly, if I'm recalling correctly, she admitted on Twitter, like, she's been at parties and Jeffrey Epstein was there. And it was only until fairly recently she's like, oh yeah, me and my douchebag friends we all got in like a circle. We're, you know, drinking our fancy douchebag drinks. And they're like, oh yeah, Jeffrey's here. Like, that guy's definitely doing stuff. But nobody said anything. until he passed away or until he was incarcerated or, whatever. Then all of a sudden, everybody had something to say. There will never be an intelligent conversation about this. I know this is what the frogs are about, guys. We notice shit. We notice things. I notice everything. And I don't believe my president did anything wrong. And they're like, oh, well, what about these pictures? So fucking what? Elon Musk took the same pictures with Ghislaine Maxwell. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. These people were neighbors with them. They went to the same party. They knew the same people. It happens. But was he doing stuff? No. And as others have obviously pointed out, if he did do something illegal involving a little kid, that information would have leaked. And he would have been selectively prosecuted, much like P. Diddy was selectively prosecuted. That guy committed a lot of crimes, and he wasn't the only one involved. But how the judicial system, especially in the Southern District of New York, which is the most corrupt judicial district in the country, they're able to craft this legal narrative. They're able to, determine the outcome of these court cases and ensure that nobody else is involved except for P. Diddy or Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, dude, people were killed. People were shot at. People were fucking stabbed. People were drugged against their will. All kinds of crazy shit goes down in Hollywood or L.A. And P. Diddy was not the only one who was involved in any of that shit. But he was the only one who went down for it. Well, I guess he's going to get away. I mean, who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I wasn't following the trial. But you get the gist. People are out of their minds. But in the grand scheme of things, none of this matters. One theory. Let me read some of these comments before I move on. Let me see. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Dark Sage writes, "Remember, this is the same like Jones." Yeah, I read that. But on to Epstein. The Epstein case reminds me of the Nuremberg trials in World War II, where magically the SS tried to claim that the camps never existed and the Holocaust was all a hoax, and how what we thought we saw in images never existed. Rumors are circulating in Washington that AG Merrick Garland destroyed the Epstein list and purged all the evidence to remove senior officials and the elites. This took place at Biden's order. It wouldn't surprise me. The way we fight back against the system is to create pieces of our own system to sidestep theirs. This is Buckaroo Banzai. Similar to the Amish, but not necessarily low tech. Wood stoves, gardening, owning chickens helps. Yeah, man. Guys, focus on the family. Focus on upskilling. Focus on improving your life. And then you realize how none of this shit really matters. All I care about is who trafficked the kids and who was in the video. I agree. We do not to see them if it's that graphic, but tell us who appeared in the video and on the island. I'll get to that, Dark Sage. She's infertile, which means unlimited cream. God damn it. Just tell us who was involved in the sex trafficking game. Just say at the FBI and DOJ, this is who did it. And this is who appears in the video. Honestly, the Diddy case, I do not care about. Hollywood does shady shit all the time. Whatever he was doing was involving Hollywood. Let them take the fall. I would definitely like that, Dark Sage, and I agree with you. I mean, look, I don't really care about the list per se, but if there is a list, or not even a list, but there's much like P. Diddy's mansion, Epstein was obsessed with recording everything. There are videos of crimes taking place. There are victims. And it wasn't just Ghislaine Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein. There were other people involved. For fuck's sake, Bill Clinton is literally photographed getting a back rub by one of the victims. And I believe she's gone now. She is deceased. I would like to see these people be brought to justice. It would bring me much joy. I would love to see Hollywood collapse. I don't make my money trashing Hollywood and making fucking slop where they're like, oh, DC is dead. Star Wars is dead. I don't make money that way. I mean, that's just, again, all that stuff is for jackasses. And I've already gone on a tirade about why I feel that way about those dorks. But the one theory that I thought was kind of interesting, and again, we have to let's look at some of the facts first. I know for a fact President Trump doesn't believe, based on his own words, what the FBI DOJ memo stated about this case essentially being closed and it's all over and done with. I know he doesn't believe it because he's made comments on a live stage in front of Hannity, in front of God knows how many people. Millions of people have seen that video. It's not up for debate. I know he doesn't believe it. So now it makes one ask themselves, why are they doing this? Honestly, I don't know, but we can make educated guesses. So if I'm thinking like a strategist, right now, we're at a pivotal moment in American history where we are on the brink of losing this country to hordes of tens of, maybe 100 million illegal aliens in this country. We have essentially a far leftist paramilitary group that has already plotted to take out members of ICE. That's our immigration federal law enforcement system. The economy is on the brink of complete and total collapse if President Trump does not play his next few cards correctly. He needed the big, beautiful bill to pass. He needed the money for the wall and for ICE. Now, if I had to choose between bringing to justice, let's say someone like Tom Hanks and Kevin Spacey, or saving this country from annihilation, knowing that people in Hollywood like Tom Hanks would get away with it, what would I choose? And I think I would choose to save the country, because none of this matters if we don't get this right. A lot of things right. Election integrity is paramount to preventing further rigged elections, the likes of which the country has never seen, like what transpired in 2020. Children cannot play in the streets. Women cannot walk the streets at night without getting raped. Regular American citizens, their wages have been devalued consistently for about 4 or 5 decades, ever since the great amnesty of the good old Reagan party. And now finally we are barely within 5-6 months, barely seeing some relief. With the gas prices going down, with egg prices going down, with jobs being more readily available. I think over 1 million have already self-deported. Many more are going to go, especially out here in Las Vegas. Fox News, our local affiliate, just reported that there's going to be, all this TPS protection for people who've been here for like 20 years. It's gone. These people are ready to be deported. If I was them, I'd get my affairs in order and I would go home. That is infinitely more important than all this extra bullshit going on with Epstein, with Hollywood, with the bankers in New York, etc. All these creeps, with the royalty in the UK. It's very likely that President Trump has all the information that he needs to destroy the people that were involved in Epstein's enterprise. He can implicate the Israeli government. He can implicate the royal family. He can implicate the entertainment industry. He can bend the arm of the fake news industry. The owner of The Atlantic, she was very close to Ghislaine Maxwell. And all these news agencies, for whatever reason, are bending the fucking knee and paying out tens of millions of dollars to President Trump because he dares to sue them. They don't go to court. They just give him whatever he wants. It's very likely he's got everything he needs to further push his agenda. That's a strong possibility. It's a very strong possibility. Nah, Gio, Trump focusing on illegals is a massive cope. It's not a cope. It's just reality. If he needs to threaten these people to get through, to push through his agenda, maybe it's worth it. Maybe we'll have a chance to survive this. Because had Kamala Harris miraculously won somehow through rigging or some other act of God, this would be it, man. There would be no more country. Fucking joke Biden imported over 25 million illegal aliens into the country. That number would probably double under Kamala Harris. We're really living through the times, you guys. It's not, again, I don't know why Trump is deliberately, lack of better words, being dishonest regarding the Epstein case. My guess would be, strategically, he's using that case as leverage. So the news gets out of the way. So the entertainment industry bends the fucking knee. And so he's able to raise an army to deport the invaders. And he's probably, and if I was him and if I was advising him, I would save all of those fucking people for last. Once he's done with his trade war, which should be over in about August 1st or before then, once he's done getting JD Vance over the finish line, fuck all these people. The way that they fucked him, and he's probably going to do it. He's probably going to do it because everybody knows that what he's saying, what Pam Bondi is saying, is just not true. I mean, even that weird footage. I just saw a video from RJ Talks, a really good kid, really good guy. I like his content. I mean, the narrative just isn't consistent. It's very sloppy. These people know what they're doing. They know what they're saying is not true. And, just belaboring this point, it just seems like a waste of time. It's not a cope. I do have faith in the president, and I do believe the country is headed in the right direction. But again, he has a choice here. It's like, look, he can use this to his advantage and twist these people into doing what needs to be done to save this country. Or he can go scorched earth on the internationalists, on the entertainment industry, the press, and on the banking system. And we'll see how that goes. Probably not well. It will probably completely derail everything going right in the country right now. Did your ingrown hairs, slut hairs? Oh my God, there's a slut hairs. Stop itching. Well, they weren't ingrown hairs for one, and for the most part, yeah, kind of. They kind of did, but I didn't sit in my car. I went to a steam room. I just fucking sweated out. I mean, that's really what should have been done. Let me see. Do you realize that Timcast was never Luke's show, and he wasn't even compensated for being a guest? Tim said that outright once. Why the heck would Luke stick his nose in things that he had zero control over? One, that's a fucking cup. I don't believe that for 1 second. That is a lie. How dare you lie for me? A magabot for pooing himself. Yeah, and again, it's like, dude, like, you guys have all these fucking perverts on your show. You guys have these fucking freaks on your goddamn shows. And whenever anybody calls you out for it, they're as quiet as a fucking mouse. When he had when Dim Fool had Cuck Murphy on his show, this guy, and this is a dude who was able to get access to former U.S. Senator J.D. Vance, and now our vice president. This is a guy who had his the Seminole Order, that fucking fruitcake fraternity for like middle-aged men, I guess. And one of the people that was involved in that group did a mass shooting. Said a lot of crazy shit, did a lot of crazy shit. And no one ever talked about it. I wonder why. When Eliza Blue was essentially lying and trying to grift off of Epstein, again, this is a legitimate grifter. She took this heinous situation and she used it to advance whatever career she had. And she lied about working with child protective services in her state, I think. She said she had cases trying to help these victims, these trafficking victims. And then she had this phony baloney story how she was like a victim, but like she was like shaking her fat ass in like this ghetto ass rap music video. And again, they didn't want to talk about it. And again, this is somebody who not only lied and misrepresented herself regarding protecting the children and grifting off the Epstein shit. This is also somebody who counter-signaled election integrity. I notice all these grift, and again, these people were reliably incorrect about what was going to transpire after the Iran stuff. They're like, the nukes are going to go flying. They're going to take out cities. They're going to draft all the little kids. They're going to go fight for Israel. None of it happened. They were all wrong. All these people got it wrong. And I'm just sick and tired of them getting so much fucking credence and getting all this clout. And again, the discourse on Twitter is fake. Like, a lot of this discourse is fake. It's not real. It 100% isn't real. The people that are saying the things that they're saying, people like Shoe on Head, who blocked me, people like Dimful, Liza, fucking Luke Radowski or whatever, Luke We Are Change. Like, they don't believe the things that they say, and again, they're in cahoots, or they tacitly defend or make excuses for, or I guess make excuses for people like Andrew Tate. But now they're outraged again. I see through it. It's all bullshit, you guys. It's all bullshit. That's why it's so important to upskill and to live a clean life. Lead a clean life. Lead a good life. Have a family. If you have issues with your family, break bread with them. Try to undo the wrong that transpired in the past and let go. Let go of the things holding you back. Let's sacrifice you to summon Chaz. Look, Chaz, he's got his own battles. And I drafted up very quickly a plan for the boy to get out of the rut that he's in. But I can't do that for him. Nobody in the world can. He's going to have to go down that journey himself. And I hope he's going down that journey without telling anybody. I hope he just shuts up and wins. I want Chaz to win. And next time I see him, he's no longer sad Chaz. All right? He's Chad Chaz, okay? We got to build him up. I want to build people up. I want to let people know that they are a lot more powerful than they imagine themselves to be. They are a lot more important than they imagine themselves to be. Chaz is more important than all this Epstein horseshit. Chaz bettering his life, bettering himself, is infinitely more important than any of this discourse around Jeffrey Epstein. And that goes for anybody else too. Your life matters. Your time matters. Your speech matters. And you can defeat people that run the kind of operations that Epstein ran by rejecting their slop. Plain and simple. If your speech didn't matter, they wouldn't try to censor it. If your time wasn't valuable, they wouldn't entice you to watch their fucking slop and listen to their lies. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to. That's the honest to God's truth. And so anything that I just said, does this make me an apologist? No. Does this make me a PDF defender? No. I almost lost my channel because unlike these fucking frauds, I believe the things that I say. And the things that I speak about are true. It's hard, man. It's fucking hard doing this shit. Being consistent, being truthful, knowing that it's unpopular, knowing that I am blacklisted in multiple industries because of my personally held beliefs, because I am a Christian, because I've called out the acolytes of Epstein, because I am a pirate. I'm literally a fucking thief. I'm never giving my money to these people. I refuse. I don't pay for Hulu or Netflix or any of that bullshit because I know it's all fucking garbage. I know it's all slop. It's all subversive propaganda. My children are not going to be watching any of that shit. My children are not going to be listening to that music. They're going to be homeschooled away from the kind of people who watch all that garbage and consume that trash. And then they go to the school and they try to, put porn in the hands of the children. Not me. Not me. Geo just sucked Ghost Zinc. Shut the fuck up. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say on this matter. This is a 40-minute rant? Jesus Christ. Tim Pool can't riff like I can. None of these people can riff honestly like I can. I don't need to pull anything up. I just know. I just know. And again, unlike them, I've actually been involved in that industry. And like I said, I'm fucking blacklisted. It is what it is. I'm doing my own thing now. we got to move on. Hold on, let me 1 second. What is all this? And yeah, let's move on to another one of these morons that I guess was partying with Ghislaine Maxwell or something. So over the weekend, Elon Musk promised to start his own political party to thwart Orange Man, because Orange Man passed a big beautiful bill, and Elon Musk, for whatever reason, has to stick up his ass about it. It's all fake. Again, more fake discourse, more fake outrage. Elon Musk doesn't care about this stuff. He doesn't care about the deficit or government spending or anything like that. He loved it. He loved it when Obama was the president. He loved it during Trump's first term, and he loved it during Joe Biden's reign of terror. Took advantage of it. He grew his companies quite sizably as a result of all these subsidies. And he wasn't included in the big beautiful bill, likely the source of his outrage. But other people have speculated it has more to do with immigration than it does having principled stances on fiscal policy in the United States, which is probably true. Elon Musk, I was coping a little bit. I was, under the impression that this street beef between Trump and Musk was fake. It just seemed really weird to me. Again, I don't know Musk. I did used to work for Tesla a long time ago, but that's neither here nor there. But it does appear to be sincere, allegedly. However, the American Party, despite all the things that people have been saying about it, according to this Daily Beast article, Musk says the party paperwork is false after MAGA meltdown. Okay, so it wasn't real only after MAGA melted down? Let's hear what they have to say. Former first buddy Elon Musk's plan to wade back into politics with a new political party has roiled MAGA influences across X. However, despite reports that Musk had already filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission Sunday to establish his so-called American Party, the billionaire took to his social media platform to shut them down. Wow, that's really interesting. This filing is false and has been reported as such to the FEC, Musk wrote. Okay, well, that's kind of a doozy, because that's not what I heard all weekend. Musk's latest move comes after he pledged to hit back against the Republicans for passing President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, which is projected to add $4.5 trillion to the national debt. First off, I don't believe any of these numbers. Again, all these economists have been wrong, reliably. All the scientists have been wrong. The press has been wrong. Don't give a shit about the national debt. Again, even if this is true, I literally don't give a fuck. I don't care about the national debt. I care about surviving. I care about my children not having to compete with illegal labor. I care about my wages not being devalued. I care about the women in my community not being fucking raped by these invaders, being imported into the country. I care more about the texture of this country changing into something that it wasn't supposed to be, that it was never meant to be, according to the framers. I don't give a fuck about the debt. 100 million must be deported. Despite no paperwork being filed, Musk has still been promoting his party on X with posts like the American Party is needed to fight Republican Democrat Uniparty, and the American Party is the solution. Musk, who became an American citizen in 2002, claimed in a Friday post on X that his new political party would focus on just 2 to 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts, CNBC reported. Musk also holds citizenship in Canada and is native to South Africa. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party, and you shall have it. Musk added it in a Saturday post on X, referring to an X poll conducted asking his followers if they would support a third party. Today, the American Party is formed to give you back your freedom. Okay, so he started a new American Party in the paperwork that was filed by the way, an Indian individual from India. That was all fake, but he's still promoting this thing. Independence Day was the perfect time to ask if you want an independence party from the two-party system. Yeah, this is stupid. Like, who gives a fuck? Is this going to be successful? No, I don't believe so. 65 reported voted yes, and 34.6 voted no. I have a feeling that the majority of these votes came from Ian Miles Chungus and other foreigners. This is not a scientific poll. Also, 93.3 million people viewed this, but not even 1.5 million voted for it. Yeah, this is a very flawed poll. I said it. Viva Fry, oh, let's see what Viva Fry said. I said it last time you posted this question. If you want to know how a multi-party system works, look at Canada. Do you want America to become Canada? If the system is broken, more of a broken system isn't going to fix it. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, Elon Musk is way out of his depth here. Way out of his element. Yet many MAGA figureheads across the billionaire social media platform don't share his enthusiasm. I would say maybe a little bit more than half. But the problem, but here's the thing. I imagine that this was that this is significantly I think a lot more people are skeptical of this, but because Elon Musk owns and controls the platform X, a lot of the so-called grifters, like let's say the Tim Fool ecosystem, those people aren't going to contest this. They're not going to speak out against this because Elon Musk can easily strip them of their ad revenue, of whatever monetary gain they gain on the platform. So yeah, I don't believe any of this shit. I think all of it is stupid and cringe, and I think it's ultimately it's going to fail. Let's see. Nothing is real, correct. Oh my god, it's so boring. Shut the fuck up for no reason. I don't want to hear your stupid shit. There's Muni in the chat. Where's my wrenches at? They should shut that shit down. Let me see. Let me just scroll through this. Let me see if there's anything good in here. Let's see. Graham Allen. Who is this? A country singer? Elon launching the America Party will make it easier for them to win the future. Yeah. I noticed that a lot of the members of the so-called Second Amendment community, they're all for this. Yeah, so they're totally, completely worthless allies in the fight to, I guess, save America from complete and total annihilation and to erode the once high trust society we once had that I remember when I was a child. Let's see, Iraq veteran 88. That guy's an open border stooge. He talks a big game about getting guns and rising up against the government, but the guy's an open border stooge. Completely fucking worthless, astroturfed. I mean, if their sponsors are Black Rifle Coffee, or the NRA, they're completely fucked. Same with the NRA, the Dana Lausch or whatever her stupid name is, that fucking bitch. She was promoting the so-called America Party. So there's a lot of fakes, man. I guess that's kind of the theme of the show. Is a lot of fakes, a lot of grifters that are taking advantage of the chaos on this platform. Much of which is fake. And even faker than the discourse are the people that promote it. Let me see, for no reason. What is this? Let's see. I see lips. I see eyes. I see a penis. And a oh, wait. So I am sucking on a ghost penis, and ghost zinc is on my face. What's going on, Pale Rider? Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. Guys, I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July. If there's one thing that you can get from all this, from what I've been saying, is that everything's going to be okay. And again, you don't have to take any of this stupid shit seriously, because I don't. You know what I am working on? Again, I don't like to talk about my plant. God damn it, post-nut clarity. Disavow that that symbol. God damn it, you guys. You guys are gonna get me in trouble. What I'm working on right now, and I have the pieces for it. I know it doesn't look like much, but there's something important here. There's something very interesting here. I am going to finish building out the Dawn of War 40K Space Marine suit for one of the puppets, and I'm probably going to do a new channel to like get involved in the Dawn of War 40K community and offer up an anti-woke voice. But it's not going to be political at all. It's just, talk about very unique and fun aspects of the Dawn of War 40K lore. I've been really wanting to get involved in that and maybe do some tabletop stuff. But yeah, the puppets, I did like this past week, I've been making a ton of money on Etsy. So I'm really happy about that. God bless everybody. By the way, hit the like button, check out the links in the description. And yeah, I'm just really glad that I'm able to do this. And I'm going to continue to do it. Just last year was crazy for me, and not in a good way. Obviously, I got through it unscathed for the most part. And, there's just really big projects that I'm working on right now. So as soon as I'm done with the stream, I got to start loading up my car because I got a big job tomorrow. And then as time permits, I'm working on this thing, and I'm gonna start a new channel. Obviously, a link to this one. That'll just be doing the Dawn of War 40K stuff along with the just promoting the Etsy. and more gun stuff. I want to do more gun stuff because I have like 3 guns that I want to build, but I know I can't really do that on this platform. It sucks. Fucking hate that YouTube is so anti Second Amendment. But whatever, man. Last year was hard. Yeah, man, dude. Last year was hard. Your President Trump wasn't president last year. And I talked about my financial struggles here on the show. We talked about a lot of the changes in the financial system, and me and the viewers and a lot of the common folk, we're all in the same boat. And now we're finally seeing quite a bit of relief. The big beautiful bill passed over the weekend, which is fantastic. We had Freedom Weekend, had a wonderful 4th of July. Hopefully everybody else did, and I think everything's gonna be great. Yeah, midget. Yeah, YouTube is pretty, if you know what I mean. But no, I'm going to link all this stuff. I don't like to talk about my goals and my dreams and my aspirations. I just do stuff, okay? So when I'm done and I set up the channel and everything, and I upload like 1 or 2 videos, I'm going to link it to you guys and get your perspective, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of fun. There were a couple, maybe more than a couple of content creators in the 40K space, and they've all been really wonderful and nice. And, it was just like, I just want to do things that people like and enjoy. And I'm still going to be doing the podcast every Tuesday night. I got to change my little teleprompter because it still says Monday because of my ex co-host. I love you guys. No Diddy. I love you too, bro. I'm glad you guys are all here on whatever platform you are joining me on. Oh, by the way, I didn't realize the numbers that I'm getting on BitChute and Rumble are actually kind of decent. So yeah, shout out to all the Rumble people. I can't wait to integrate the Rumble chat into my thing here. But for now, this is gonna have to suffice. So yeah. Okay, I'm at home now. What's going on, Brad? Brad, I hope you got home safe. Well, obviously you did. You're home. God, man. Yeah, I'm just so sick of the fakeness, man. The fakeness just drives me crazy. It really does annoy me. I remember like when I was working in the solar industry, one of our offices was in the heart of the Las Vegas Strip, and after work we would all go to this bar and we would hang out and drink, and we had like this own little crew of just like hipsters, and we would like talk about the news and stuff. It was kind of like this, and it was a lot of fun. And that's kind of what I want. I want to talk about these things in a real way, because I feel like a lot of people just aren't being real with you guys. And also, I just feel like my perspective is different because I work for a lot of these people, and I have political experience, and I was a strategist, and that's how I think. I think strategically. I think in like a general would going into battle and shit. BitChute is base as fuck. That's a platform that saves all base content less than 6 hours. Yeah, no, BitChute is pretty based. But every now and then the comment section it gets a little too wild for my taste. So just preemptively disavow. But every now and then there'd be like a random comment to like, yo, this frog guy's a Jew. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even do anything. Yeah, so just for whatever reason, the discourse always like pivots to like wanting to talk about like Israel and shit. And I don't care about the conflict in Iran or Palestine. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. Like all these lefties, I think they're fucking losers. It's like you guys are fucked up on drugs. You're taking all these pharmaceutical products. Your dick ain't shit. Like you got a failed relationship with your parents, and yet you're trying to be like this fucking freedom fighter for these people thousands of miles away. Like you sound like a fucking loser. I don't want to talk about fucking Palestine. That kills my boner. I'm in the club. I don't want to hear about Palestine and Israel. I don't want to hear about Gaza. I don't want to hear about any of that nonsense. Rumble is pretty good. The search engine is not great and doesn't work well in the background all the time. Yeah, dude, it definitely sucks on mobile. Even if you're not using the app, which I usually don't. But I found that it's mostly an issue with certain content creators because a lot of them are edgy. And they want to say anti-Semitic shit, and for whatever reason, like every single one of them has garbage, like an internet, like a terrible internet connection. Yeah, like hold on. Look, I like these platforms. I think they're great. YouTube is obviously the best platform. It's the most functional. It's where the party's at. Unfortunately, you just don't get a lot of free speech here. You're very limited, which is a shame because I would love to do firearm related content. more often. But then it's like, oh, well, you can't load a 30 round mag and you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't even display a firearm on a live stream or you'll get banned, which I mean, I kind of get. Um, but it's weird because that enforcement of that rule is very selective. Because if you're Hassan Piker, a Muslim Turk, commie retard, if you're that guy, you can display anything that looks like a real firearm and nothing is going to happen to you. But anybody else, they get banned. It's bullshit. He's obviously one of the beautiful people of these platforms, and he's allowed to get away with it. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. It is what it is. The weaker you are, the more you care about politics. I'm chilling from work after copping a buzz. Here we are. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? That's a great question. Yeah, the people that care about politics and stuff. I mean, like, look, I think politics is relatively important, because ultimately what it boils down to is, selecting people to represent us in our government. And if the government has problems, I think it is, it's important to speak out against it. But depends on what you talk about, like, again, like if I'm whining and crying about Gaza and shit, it's fucking loser shit. It's fucking loser shit. I'm chilling too, packing my first bowl after work. God damn it, Brad Skagg. Disavow. All right, well, we got to move on. Let's make fun of something else. I'm kind of done with the politics. Let me see. What is this? Why do I have this open? This is from the article. Let's get rid of this. Oh, man. Yeah, so Tesla slides as Musk America Party heightens investor worries. Yeah, I'm not going to read all this because it's kind of boring. But long story short, Elon Musk, whether or not he's trolling or he's serious, again, it's kind of up in the air. It's not entirely clear if this is theater or not. Apparently, it's more likely that he's kind of serious about this and that I'm coping. But in the event that he is serious, he's diverting his attention away from his companies that are somewhat successful and they do have some value. And it shows. It's like, dude, this guy can't really afford to lose control of his company. Because it is a publicly traded company and they could vote to, oust him and replace him with somebody. And it's very possible that he even loses control of X. And if he does, there goes our free speech. Because, I mean, Twitter is kind of an edgy platform now. There's a lot of edgy stuff going on the platform. And it would suck for Elon Musk to lose control of that. It would suck for Tesla to go the way of the dodo because he's not able to compete. And I mean, that's honestly the reality of it. Nobody wants to buy these electric cars. Nobody wants to be forced to buy these cars. They're impossible to maintain. Repairs are devastatingly expensive. These vehicles are for the ultra rich. And subsidies for Tesla and other electric car companies, I mean, these were just, it was just giveaways for the ultra wealthy that could afford these vehicles. I mean, the Teslas are kind of cool. I was riding in one, and I was in one while I was driving itself for the first time, and I thought it was pretty darn cool. Look, the cars are cool, I guess, but don't force me to pay for it, and don't force me to buy one. Let them drive electric vehicles. That was like the whole mantra of Biden. And it's also a massive loser for a lot of the automobile industry. These cars don't make money. They really, really don't. They cost a lot to research and develop, and then they cost even more to set up to produce them. And then once they're out there, it's like they're just sitting there, eroding, and just dying because nobody wants to buy them. So if he diverts his attention from his company, he doesn't figure this out, and he wants to fuck around in politics, which, by the way, he's not wanted in politics. MAGA doesn't like him. Obviously, the Democrats don't like him. Nobody likes Elon Musk anymore. Except all these H-1B visa bros and Miles Chungus, who, I don't know, Elon Musk should just adopt them. Have him be his little kid, because the guy's a fucking goofball. Let me read some of these comments before we move on to the fun stuff. Post Claire, I like Elon in some ways. Elon is way smarter than Trump. Not that we have to debate that. No, you're probably right. I don't think our free speech depends on Twitter. If it does, we're already screwed. Chaz is smarter than Trump. Chaz is autistic. Of course, he's smarter than Trump. Not convinced Elon is a genius. Stupid as stupid does. Yeah, I'm not really convinced about the genius stuff. Does he work hard? Probably. Is he industrious? Yeah, probably. Does he make the right moves? Business-wise? Yeah, probably. Is this the right one? No. People do make mistakes, and I think this endeavor is a mistake, and his investors are obviously in agreement with it. The stock is in free fall. I was reading something about a car made with foam frame. It's meant to be dirt cheap, and it looks like a Cybertruck for a Hobbit or something. I hope it takes off. I need a cheap junker. Buckaroo Banzai. It wasn't made out of foam. It was made out of like this PLA material, so it's plastic, right? It's this durable polymer frame or durable polymer body. I think the car is called Slate, and it was backed by Jeff Bezos of Amazon. And the vehicle will retail at less than $25,000. Correct. It is an all electric vehicle that legitimately costs less than $25,000. It's basically a dumb electric vehicle. It doesn't have a fancy $800 display computer thing built right into the console. It's all buttons and it's all analog essentially, and it's electric. And the panels aren't aluminum or steel or anything like that. And they're all easy to be replaced and repaired or painted, etc. And it looks like a DIYer's like dream for an electric vehicle. It's a small compact truck that can be converted into like a compact Jeep or SUV, and it looks kind of adorable. Rainbow plastic electric car. Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. I mean it's super lightweight. It costs nothing to make, and it's insanely affordable. And I'm all for small cars. I don't want a big car. I have a big ass sedan, and I hate it because it's a pain in the ass to get into my 3-car garage. That's in the single car side because I'm using my 2-car side to do work. So yeah, it's kind of a pain. It's called the Cybertruck Buckaroo. It's not a Cybertruck. The Cybertruck isn't really a truck. Let's just be real here. Let's just be real. Sim here. I trust Trump more than Elon in fixing the economy, but if Elon were to become the next president, I'll take that gamble since he and Trump are doing a great job. Look, Elon Musk can't become the president because he's not a U.S. born citizen. He was born in South Africa to South African parents. He's a South African citizen. He's a Canadian citizen. And he's also somewhat recently a U.S. citizen. So I want a normal car in a small car or a bike with a basket or something. Genius level IQ is only 140 and over. Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah, I've actually been watching like a handful of videos where they're restoring like old Acuras and old Toyotas, and they're like these really small, compact, sleek little 4-door cars, these little sedans. And there was like a Toyota, I think it was I don't remember what it was. It was a Toyota car. It had over 1 million miles on it, and the thing still looked brand new. And I'm like, man, we had it so good in the 90s. This is like a vehicle made in the 90s. There was another Toyota vehicle that only had like an original 169 miles on it. Car looked brand new. The car is over 30 years old, and it still looks amazing. If you took care of those cars back then, oh, dude, it's just over. I remember like back in the 90s, like my mother, she drove like this like adorable little Jetta, this little white Jetta, and the thing just like ran. Like they ran so well. They were so well made. The cars in the 90s were really bomb proof. They really were, especially if you took care of them. Yeah, like, oh dude, so jealous. Make sure to drink fluoridated water to reduce your IQ levels. Agreed. I want Volkswagen Beetles. Yeah, those Volkswagen Beetles are kind of cool, but I'm a little too tall for those kind of cars, I think. See how many greenskins getting a job at ICE. We coming up, yo. Yeah, dude, midget. Dude, greenskins. ICE is hiring all over the country. They just expanded the funding for ICE. The funding for ICE is allegedly a lot bigger than the majority of the world's military's budget. So that's fantastic news. So what that means is if you were a badass greenskin, if you're a bad dude, try to enlist yourself into BORTAC. That's Border Patrol. That's not ICE. So Border Patrol has an elite unit that hunts down the most dangerous illegal alien criminals, largely involved in cartel and gang violence. That's BORTAC. So if you know how to fucking fight and you're a tough motherfucker, that's BORTAC. If you're analytical and intelligent but not a little bitch, you can do just regular ICE immigration. If you don't want to get involved in the violence, you can do administrative stuff, or you can do transportation. And if you're, you got some chops to you, you can probably be an investigator for ICE. And those guys are pretty fucking elite. I thought about applying. If the economy gets really bad, which I don't really see that happening, dude, Greenskin's got to apply for ICE, man. Let me read some of this stuff. We Grigas getting good money in Mexican food. The Toyota Tacoma has amazing gas mileage and amazing features to discover. Go to your local Toyota dealership today. No, disavow Brad Skagg. Disavow buying a brand new vehicle. If you want to stay poor and stay in debt and not get ahead in life, then buy a new car. Shout out to everybody who's been messaging me. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to subscribe and to share with everybody the love and magic of the watchfrogs. Why do you have 30 white women purses behind you? Those are not purses, Brad Skagg. Those are canvas bags. How do you spell that? Bortac? Bortac. Just type in Bortac, Border Patrol. You'll know what that is. Yeah, those guys are fucking elite. It's basically SWAT, but they go around the country going after very dangerous criminals. Like, those dudes are fucking crazy. Like, crazy tough. Not like crazy as in like they're messed up or anything. The closest, I don't think I know anybody in Bortac, but I am somewhat familiar with the gang unit out here, the local gang unit, and those guys are pretty elite. And also one of the police department's intelligence guys, because like Henderson Police, like they have their own intelligence people. Like those guys don't fuck around either. They're pretty elite too. But Bortac, it's gonna be next level, especially with the funding that they're getting. Chaz should be in ICE. I don't know if Chaz can be in ICE. I mean, he's. It seems like he's got a lot of work to do. You know, just based on what he's told me. And based on what he said publicly in the chat, I'm not deriding him. Look, I love Chaz. I'm Team Beetle. Look, all greenskins are safe with me. But right now, Chaz is hurting. And, you know, he needs to get right with God. He needs to get right with himself. He needs to make some changes. And that, again, that's all on him. The ball's in his court. I found it. It's called Espira for You. Foam frame, 3 wheels, built in California. Floats on water. So... Espira for You is completely different. I was thinking of the Slate car. I don't know. I've never seen or heard about this foam vehicle. I was AF, didn't do crazy, but I was under Shady Hook. Oh, okay. Let's see them up. All right. Well, we got to move on. Actually, hold on. Let me look up this. I want to look up that car really quick because now you got my attention. You got my attention. Let me see. Fuck. Okay, it's in the wrong screen. Let me see. Espira. I'm gonna judge the hell out of this vehicle right now. Spira for You foam car. Dude, it's giving me a warning that it's not safe to go to this website. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm afraid to go to this website. Okay, here we go. Let's look at the pictures of this thing. All right. Dude, this car looks fucking hideous. What the hell is this? Bro, if I want to get no bitches for the rest of my life, I would get one of these Spirus. These foam cars. Dude, they got solar panels on the roof. Oh, look at it. He's kayaking in his Spiru. Oh my god. Look, okay, I laugh and giggle now, but if I can save myself like a lot of money by driving one of these goofy ass cars, then maybe I would. But like, how am I gonna take a fucking bitch out on a date to Applebee's in one of these cars, though? Like, this is so unsexy. Like, she's just not gonna go on the date with me. She's gonna look at this car and go back inside. Doesn't look like a fucking Temu Cybertruck. Look at this guy sleeping in it. I guess you can turn it into a tiny house. You can live. Everyone's gonna be living in their Spirus. Yeah, now that me and Cheese are no longer teamed up, I guess I'm just gonna be streaming on Tuesdays now. Imagine drunk driving that shit. Yeah, you would die no matter what. You crash into like a little like bush and your car's just gonna disintegrate. And this is made out of foam? I don't know, guys. This thing is like killing my boner. This is definitely a consume sins. Are people gonna consume the Spyro foam car? I like the Slate vehicle. Here, let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys. Because I guess no one was really familiar with it. Slate truck. All right, so yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. This little compact truck. The panels here, these are plastic and they're modular, so they're easy to remove, and you can wrap it in any vinyl wrapping that you'd like. You can sand them lightly and repaint them however you'd like. This is a very lightweight single cab truck. This will fit in virtually any tiny garage. Because I know like a lot of the new houses, if they have like a a 2 car garage or like a single car garage, they're kind of small and it's really difficult to even fit like a mid-size sedan in there. But not with this. I mean, it's a truck, but it's really really small and convenient. Look how cool this is. Look at this parking spot. There's so much space. So now you can reserve a spot, and then you can like totally modify this thing. You can put seats in the back, so you can turn it into like a little Jeep or an SUV or something. It looks kind of like a Range Rover, sort of. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. Personalization. So yeah, this is what the dash looks like. You'll just have whether you're in neutral, rear, or drive, and you'll obviously have like a little speedometer, and you can easily connect your phone to do navigation and whatnot. I like how clean this is. It doesn't even have electric windows. See, look over here. This is a little side, the little winding feature, so you can wind the window up or down. So this is really, it just gives me 90s vibes. Oh, right here, there's an option, I guess, to convert this to digital or to electric, so you can, push it up and down. All right, but yeah, this is probably what I would get. Look at this. Look how clean this is. Like if I had my way, like I was designing a car, it would be gas powered, obviously, and it would be this simple. Like people don't need an $800, $1,000 computer into the console that does all this crazy extra shit. Like when I'm driving, I don't want to be fucking around in Spotify or YouTube or whatever. I don't want to watch a movie in my car. I don't want to be in my car. I just want to get in the car, go to point A to point B. Because again, I got stuff to do. I can't be messing around in a car. I really, really like this concept, and I know it's electric, and electric's lame, but this is pretty damn cool. I'm digging this. Like if I had the money, yeah. No, actually, no. If I had the money, I'd probably get the Chevy Silverado 1500 single cab. Very compact, very sleek. It's kind of muscly, looks kind of tough. I mean, this is kind of like a wimpy car. No offense to the Slate car, because again, I like this small compact car, but it's kind of wimpy, Oh, look at this. It's like transforming. Very cool. Very cool. Gio, please do the truffle shuffle. I would only do that on 3 immediate members of your family. This reminds me of a car that needs an overhaul. Brad agreed. We will donate from Truffle Shuffle. I drive a 2-stroke engine car, 429 CI. How much for the shuffle? I don't know, man. Well, first off, I don't even really know what a truffle shuffle is. That sounds sexual to me. That sounds like I would get banned if I did it on camera. Okay? I don't know if I can do that, you guys. I don't know if I can do that. If that truck had half a torta, it would crumble like a wet... a torta? What the fuck is a torta? You guys are using all these words, and I'm practically a boomer at this point. Okay, so I don't know. I don't keep up with this jackass lingo. You guys are saying torta, truffle shuffle. Gio has to compensate with the truck. As a mod, you can trust me. AC disavow. You pull your shirt up and shake around. No, I'm gonna get banned, dude. I'm gonna get fucking banned if I do that shit. I can't do that. I can't pull out a gun. I can't call out the Epstein bros. I can't really do much on YouTube. Okay, well, we gotta move on. Enough car talk. Give me money. Give me money. How many tortas can your dream car carry? Okay, well, you need to explain to me what a torta is. A torta is like a Mexican burger type thing, but it means a fat woman, also similar to gordita. Yeah, back in my day, we just called them fat bitches. But that is very politically incorrect, and we are respectful women um, on this channel. But I imagine torta is a little bit easier to say, and it's very. I imagine it's always said in a humorous way. So how many tortas can you fit in the Slate truck? Probably comfortably one. However, I don't know. Do you have your truffle shuffle for my mom? I would be so excited. Why would you be excited? Or would you just be excited for me to be your stepdad or something? Torta and gorditas are fat Mexican women. Okay, well, I don't want to incur the wrath of fat Mexican women, so I'm not going to be using those words. Goon enough. For me, it's goon enough. For me, it's... God damn it, what does that even mean? Why did you make me read that? Chaz, don't put Gio down. Oh, wait, Chaz is in the chat. Gio doesn't have the body type to truffle shovel. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe if I was iDubbbz's wife, I could probably do that. Maybe if I was that influencer chick, Juliana Miller or whatever her name is, the fucking Latinx rainbow chick, maybe I can do that. Maybe if I was Boogie2988, if he could stand for more than 5 minutes, I can do that truffle shuffle. Forget about gorditas. Might have to stop by. Yeah, isn't a gordita a fucking like dish at Taco Bell? I don't eat at Taco Bell. I've never eaten at Taco Bell, but I'm pretty sure I watched a commercial where they were advertising a gordita. I can do the hair bounce challenge. Have you guys seen that? I think I have it bookmarked because I was gonna send it to Cheese and be like, "Yo, this reminds me of you, Cheese. Looks like something you would do." Let me see if I can find this stupid ass video. Oh god, it was so stupid. Where is it? Oh my god, did I delete it? Yeah, I think I deleted it, you guys. No. No, I'm so sad because it was kind of funny. It was the hair bounce challenge. Well, the video is gone forever. Boogie crashed out at D3. Look, again, we talked a lot about fake shit. Boogie2988 is a giant whore and a self-promoting douchebag, and virtually everything he does is fake. What's his name? Frank Hassel was like, he exposed him. He's like, yeah, Boogie reached out to me and he like told me that we're gonna like coordinate this fake crash out on the kill stream. And he's like, bro, you're so fake. He was just like roasting him the whole time. And it was really funny. And it really got under his skin because, you know, Boogie tried to kill Frank. A gordita, I think, is like a normal burrito, but then there's a layer of cheese. Yeah, dude, that sounds gross. It sounds like something you would, sounds like a consume sin. Under chronic, time me out for gordita love. Okay, post not clarity. What happened to post not clarity? You're doing gordita love, but you got post not clarity. I don't think the clarity is here yet. For no reason, Gio should go to his local ICE office and do that shuffle. What if I get deported though? Look, I do. There is a slight risk. I am at a slight risk, very low, but slight risk because I am a part of the Chocolatey Boy tribe. And because of my Chocolatey Boy status, I might get mistaken as like a Kilmar or Brago Garcia, which would be very disappointing. Side note, Slate is hiring 97 jobs available and remote jobs as well, hiring mostly in Michigan and California. Buckaroo Banzai, thank you for sharing that out. Yeah, fellas, greenskins, if you are techie savvy, if you love vehicles and you are in the Michigan area or you want to work remotely, check out a job for Slate. I think the Slate is doing everything right. Dude, Americans are craving compact vehicles. Nobody wants to live in their fucking car. Nobody wants to watch movies, do the Hulu shit, and fuck around on Spotify and stuff on their car. They just want to get in and drive and have something that is reliable that they can be proud of. They get a brand new, very inexpensive $20,000, $25,000 Slate car. They're going to cherish that thing like a baby. And it's electric, so they get all the perks of driving around in like a city with an electric vehicle. Oh, dude, it's over. It's over. I mean, that's how you get people to adopt electric vehicles. You start small. You start with something that's manageable. A Slate vehicle is completely manageable. The Tesla cars, you can't. That's not manageable at all. Dude, a Tesla battery costs more than a Slate car. That's crazy talk. I should make Geo or get deported. God damn it. That would be so bad. It's like, all right, we need a humiliation ritual for brown people. So they have to prove that they're like one of us. And then they make me do the truffle shuffle to stay in the country. Look, I have the real ID. That means I have a passport, a birth certificate, a social security number, and a previous ID. And whatever else they require. Dude, I got my real ID like years ago. Because I'm just like, look, I'm not going to get jammed up at the airport. Okay, I'm gonna have a real ID. No one's gonna mess with me, and I just somewhat recently renewed my my passport like 3 or 4 years ago, about 3 years ago maybe, and it was such a pain in the ass. It was such a pain in the ass, but I got it done. So I'm legit, bros, dude. That's why I got so many haters. You know, that's why I got so many enemies because everything about me is official. You know what I mean? Corporate finance, engineer, remote jobs, HR, mini jobs, actually at Slate, and you'll be getting in early, and you can maybe get company stock. Not sure though. Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai, that is fantastic, and I really hope a lot of good people, not like wokesters or idiots or whatever, they start taking their careers and their future seriously. In my opinion, the future, I don't think electric vehicles are the future, but I think electric vehicles are going to be here to stay. And I think that technology is going to be invaluable. I mean, there's just going to be a demand for it at some point. And if you can make automobiles accessible to the less fortunate and they want people to drive these electric cars, I think Slate is doing it right. They're 100% doing it correctly. Click the link, Jay. You can trust me. I don't trust you. All right. God damn it. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, no. I can't play a clip from the Goonies. Oh, get off my fucking screen. God damn it, Chaz. You're going to get me banned. And I saw a still image of a boy without a shirt. Dude, what if they're like, oh, yeah, here's a boy without a shirt on the video, on the stream, and then people call me a PDF document, or I get flagged for having fucking nudity. I mean, look what happened to Ribby the Frog. He posted a picture of like some girl in it was like her high school photo or something like that, or some girl in a, I don't know, some fucking model thing, and he got banned for that. No, thank you, man. I can't click on that link, bro. It was on the screen. Oh wait, what did Mark Mitchell say about Stacey Abrams? Hold on, what's going on here? So what is happening to Stacey Abrams again? Yeah, dude, when is she going to go to jail? Like Karen Bass, she flies under the radar as secretly one of the most powerful global elites in the world. I need to do a thread on her. Yeah, this is great. Here, I'm going to go ahead and retweet that. All right, well, we got to move on. We got to do the show. Let's see. My bad. I'll just... Chaz, you don't have to fuck off. You're just like... You're hating on yourself for no reason, brother. My fellow greenskin. Don't be hard on yourself. I just don't want to get banned. No, we will not be truffle shuffle maxing. All right. Okay, so we already did this. All right, we got to get into the pop culture shit. Oh, shit. We got one more story. I talked a little bit about immigration earlier. We're talking about jobs in the chat. Dude, so the chat, look, greenskins. You guys are on the right path. You're talking about jobs. You're talking about your future. We're talking about saving money. We're talking about, real stuff here. And look, and the advice I get to chat is like, dude, get as many jobs as you can. You gotta start upskilling right now. Like right now is the time. And look at this. So these are apparently the jobs that Americans don't want to do. How a city in Nebraska. So Nebraska is a red state, a blood red state. And there was a city in Nebraska, and now it is recovering after the state's largest worksite immigration raid. So one immigration raid, and now the city is in a state of recovery. That is insane, you guys. Omaha is trying to forge ahead following the raid's chilling effect on the local workforce and the community at large. Every seat in the waiting area at Glen Valley Foods was occupied with people filling out job applications early Thursday afternoon, 2 days after the meatpacking plant became the center of the largest worksite immigration raid in the state of Nebraska so far this year. Dude, so right there, I could just stop right here and just talk about this for like an hour. The racist Democrats, they want to say, oh, Whitey doesn't want these jobs. Whitey doesn't want to do these jobs. Whitey just wants to sit there and exploit illegal labor and live, high on the hog. Okay, well, that's not happening. People's wages have been devalued. People have lost their jobs to illegal immigration. And they're struggling. Every seat, according to this article by Nicole Avocado, or Acevedo, Every seat was occupied at Glen Valley Foods. Interesting. Dozens of prospective employees, many of them Spanish speakers, had been coming in and out of the plant all day. Some were hoping to land a new job. Others were coming in for training. The scene gave the company's president, Chad Hartman, a glimmer of hope amid the chaos that ensued after Tuesday's raid, purged roughly half of his staff. Give me money, give me money. Thank you so much for the super chat, the $2 super chat. Mod Mutiny in the chat. No, Mod Mutiny. God damn you. Disavow. I'm still standing. Beetle. I don't even know what those other emojis are. He won't notice. He's reading the article. Yeah, give me a minute, you guys. I'll get to the chat. The process of rehiring new workers, Hartman said, feels like asking someone to replace a family member. You cannot, in my mind, he said, they were part of our family and they were taken away. Oh, boo-hoo. 76 people working at Glen Valley Foods were arrested by federal immigration authorities Tuesday morning, the Department of Homeland Security told NBC News. Immigration and Customs Enforcement said the arrests were part of an enforcement operation to execute a federal search warrant in connection to an investigation into large-scale employment of aliens without legal work authorization. Unbelievably based. And this is what I voted for. Yeah, so, again, you guys get the picture. Americans are willing to do these jobs. They 100% are willing to do these jobs. This is hard work. This is honest work. And it belongs to American citizens. And by the way, a lot of these American citizens are Latinx. And they are, they do speak multiple languages. And they are invaluable in any workforce. But even Latinx American citizens are being replaced. And that's not right. That's not fair. So I am more in favor of this. We need more of this right now. And now, greenskins have an opportunity to not just work at meatpacking plants, but they can work over at Slate in Michigan or in California, and get a really cushy job early on. Be a part of something that could be historic. I'm all for it. Now, you guys are posting some shit in the chat. Let me scroll up. All right, so Chad says he's on a rampage. I just got a job, did the orientation today, laughing my ass off. I'm only working like 20 hours a week. Plan to make more hours later. Buckaroo Banzai, that's really positive development. Good for you. I mean, that's how I started. I used to work part-time for quite a few years when I was a teenager. If you like engines, learn to be a mechanic. I agree. Mechanics are in demand. Mechanics, I mean, you go to a mechanic school. You get like a certificate or something. You can start working at a really big dealership, making well over $20 an hour. Work at maybe a small mechanic shop close to your home. Maybe you won't get paid as much, but you'll be a lot closer. Maybe you'll get commission. This is a cope. They just don't want to pay young American men what we are owed. Well, Pell Rider, I feel like that's going to change because I believe Gen Z is going to be that generation that they're going to be ditching the button-down T-shirt for a tool belt. I do believe that. Because like right now, what's hot on YouTube, a lot of DIY stuff, a lot of home improvement stuff, a lot of financial literacy stuff, which is really what I want to deviate towards. Less politics, more real-world stuff. Stuff that I got a little bit more experience in, but again, I love politics. I think it's a lot of fun, and again, I bring something different to the table because of my political background as a strategist and doing canvas operations and whatnot, and an aide. But yeah, take Chaz's mod privileges away. He's cleaning chat. Chat, Chaz, if you were deleting things that do not belong in the chat, I'm gonna allow it. I don't know what he's deleting. You guys need to make a case. He's going to read chat, all right? Yeah, because let me see. I wish to tell a base job you guys can get that is flexible is a place called Office Pride. They're in mostly every state. I think nobody knows they exist. It's just cleaning and very flexible hours. I mean, a job's a job. I need to flex my power sometimes. Wait, Geo reads chat from the yellow screen and not the chat on YouTube. No, I'm actually reading it on Restream. I'm looking up. I know, like, I'm looking. Okay. So right where I'm pointing, my camera is also my teleprompter. Now, right where I'm pointing, like downwards, that's where my monitor is. That's the yellow chat. I can't read that because it's too slow. I'm reading the chat in real time. And then over here to my top right is my mini display, which has the content that you're seeing on the screen. My hanger has subsided. Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm just doing my job as a mod. After all we've been through, I thought you'd trust me, Chaz. I do trust you. I do trust you, and I hope you trust me because we are close. All right, guys. So we're moving on. We're moving on. We gotta talk about something fun. Superman director faces backlash for calling the Man of Steel an immigrant. Super woke. I don't plan to watch this film. Well, let me take a big old jug of this. Take a sip of this giant water. Get new glasses, dude. These glasses were like $600. These are authentic Goliath frames, very posh, very cool for any occasion. You know what? You're not gonna change me, AC. Maybe if I get $100 super chat, I'll consider wearing these very gorgeous Oakleys, or perhaps, or perhaps these very sleek and modern, studious Burberrys. And I have my Dolce & Gabbana glasses somewhere, but for now I'm wearing the Goliaths because they are cool and I am a unique, special snowflake. How do you not see all the chat being timed out? Because I'm not looking at the chat on YouTube. I'm looking at the chat on Restream. So Restream compiles all of the chat from all of the other sites that I'm streaming to. So I don't see anything getting timed out. I apologize for the confusion, AC. Geo consumed. God, you know what? Ash Blackwind, I consumed. That is a consumed sin. And you know how I feel about that. You know how I feel about that. If someone donates, I'll stop. All right. I don't know how I feel about that, Chaz. You can't hold the chat hostage. People should be allowed to speak freely. Okay? All right. So Superman is going woke. I don't plan to watch this movie. I think it looks kind of dumb. There is a cute dog in it, so that's cool. But other than that, is that enough to get me in the seat? No. If I have to, I will pirate the film, and I will give you my honest review next Tuesday because the film does come out this Friday. All right, well, let's hear what the Superman director has to say. Superman director and DC studio co-head James Gunn, who, by the way, is a disgusting creep, is facing backlash for calling the Man of Steel an immigrant that came from other places in a new interview. I mean, is he technically an immigrant? Because he's not immigrating to the U.S. He kind of like crash landed on the planet. If anything, he might be a legitimate refugee, a legitimate alien extraterrestrial refugee. Immigrant seems way too political, but I don't know. I would have to consult with somebody who might understand this better than I do. Ahead of the release of Warner Bros. Superhero reboot on July 11th, Gunn 58. Again, we have another reboot. This franchise has been rebooted like 20 times. It's like, do we really need to see, Clark Kent's parents get like, destroyed by Zod or whatever? Do we really need to see this shit over and over again? So Gunn 58 told the Sunday Times London that Spider-Man or Superman is a story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. Okay, so again, this is false. This is what I was talking about earlier about propaganda and why it's important to just reject all this horseshit because it's subversive. America wasn't about people about people from all these other places coming here and populating the country. The country was settled here, by Europeans. They settled the continent. They tamed the land. And they built one of the greatest countries on earth in all of human history. It wasn't a story about immigrants. It was a story about settlers, about pilgrims. James Gunn, I would like to look up his early history on Wikipedia. I wonder what it would have to say. The Guardians of the Galaxy, the director added, but for me, it's mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and is something that we have lost. I've read your tweets, James Gunn. You're not exactly the nicest person on the planet. You're kind of a douchebag. Clark Kent is, of course, not human. Named Kal-El. He's an alien from the planet Krypton who lands on Earth as a baby and is adopted by a couple in Smallville, Kansas. In the new movie, the iconic red cape is donned by 32-year-old actor David Corenswet. Gunn said that some audience members who watched the action movie through a political lens could have a negative reaction to it. Driving home that point, the Sunday Times headline is some people will take offense at my new Superman. Yes, it plays differently, Gunn said, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it is about kindness. But screw them. There's nothing wrong with kindness, bro. Like MAGA bros aren't like, yo, dude, you being all nice and soft. What are you, lame? Get over here. I'm a dunk your head in the toilet because you're being all nice to me and shit, and that's giving me like weird thoughts about like kissing boys, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna be really fucking mean. I'm gonna be offended because you're about like, no, dude. You're probably gonna promote a fucking woke ass agenda that you are trying to mask as kindness. Yeah, open up your borders because that's a kind thing to do. Let these people take your jobs because it's a kind thing to do. Just be a person. You know, just have all this empathy, just empathy all over the place. Because if you don't, you know, screw you. Several media personalities bristled at Gunn's remarks. He's creating a moat of woke in enlightened opinion around him. He's got a woke shield, said Fox News' Greg Gutfield with a graphic on the screen that read super woke. Kellyanne Conway said, we don't go to the movie theater to be lectured to and to have somebody throw their ideology onto us. The cast stood by Gunn's interview on Monday, blah, blah, blah. Of course they would. My reaction to the backlash is that it is exactly what the movie is about. Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, who plays Maxwell Lord, told Variety. We support our people, you know. We love our immigrants. Yes, yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. And if you don't like that, you're not American. Well, I guess I'm not American. People who say no to immigrants are against the American way, he added. Well, aren't you just like doing the thing that you're accusing us of doing? You're not a real American if you disagree with me. That sounds very intolerant. That doesn't sound like something a kind person would do. Nathan Fillion, who plays the Green Lantern, put it more succinctly. Somebody needs a hug, the actress said. Just a movie, you guys. Yeah, it is just a movie. It's a movie that I'm not going to watch. Somebody needs a hug? No way. Get away from me, you fucking PDF file. Can't hold a candle to the two original movies. Terrence Stamp and Zod and Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor are top performers. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I never watched those movies because I'm not retarded. All right, I saw chat was going crazy. God damn it, you guys. What's going on here? Oh, boy. Europeans didn't kick natives out of their teepees and live in their teepees after they poisoned them with smallpox. That history is false. The land was either bought or uninhabited. It was mostly uninhabited because America is a really big-ass country. Yes, donate to Chaz. All right, Chaz, why are you promoting your fucking Cash App? Or even better, donate to me. We are the real Native Americans. Yes, we are the real Native Americans. Okay, Chaz, why are you asking for donations to the chat? What's going on here? Wow, Geo sold out. Wait, how did I sell out? Oh, what the hell? Oh, I sold out because I consumed. I mean, I guess. Well, I've had those Oakley glasses and stuff for a long time. Okay, so Geo, stop trying to engage. Buckaroo, stop trying to engage with Geo. Most soil, Buckaroo Bonza writes, most soil the Europeans acquired was poor soil. The Native Americans didn't want. The Europeans improved the soil, which isn't hard to do if you know gardening and farming. That is true. Chaz, we are just casually chatting, bro. I'm just here being a chill guy, you know? Yeah, I don't know what Chaz's problem is. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom. Okay, I'll stop. Yeah, Chaz, please stop timing people out. Let them speak. Let the people speak. All right, if I get more complaints, I don't know what we're going to have to do about that wrench, Chaz. It was for ransom, Geo. Oh, ransom. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, look, no more of that nonsense in the chat. God damn it, Chaz. I can't have that happening in the chat. That can't be happening. Unless they're like doxing people or like posting threats of violence or something, or like committing a crime in the chat somehow. What the fuck? Chaz, why? Dude, you just called me on Discord. Just get in the hop in the chat. Hold up. Chaz, are you in the thing anymore? Did you guys scare Chaz away from the watchfrogs Discord? I'm looking at my guest roles and I don't see him there. Chaz is the call cell. Did you guys hear him calling me on Discord? God damn it. Geo Pimp is calling him. No, I left the server a bit ago. Why? Hold up. What the fuck? Hold on. I'm calling your ass up. Chaz, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why did you leave the Discord? What happened? You self-deported?
Yeah, I was I don't know, I did a mass exodus of not 1,000, but there were like 10 Discord servers that I just wasn't talking in at all. And I was just, cleaning it out. And it's like I don't know. I just left that server as well. Yours. It wasn't like personal. I was just you know how I've been. So
Yeah. I
I
was
just wanted
like,
to
wait, did I
say
do something? You know,
no, no. No, I've just been a depressed retard. So I just wanted to say, like, I was just trying to do a bit, or it's like, oh, I'm holding them hostage. I wasn't actually trying to.
Yeah.
Like me posting the cash app was just supposed to be like, donate allergy free. So I just want to clarify that. So
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're fine. You don't have to apologize, I guess. Hold up.
I was just timing people out for like 10 seconds. I was just doing that bit. So I wasn't like actually doing like 24-hour things. Sorry.
All right. Well, yeah, I thought you were like mad or something. I just thought
No,
you got
no, no, no. I was just doing a bit like, oh, I'm on a rampage, right? Like,
Yeah.
I sent you the link to the Goonies clip so you can see what the truffle shuffle is, and you're like, oh, I don't want to watch that. And then,
Is that where it comes from? The movie Goonies? I never
it,
seen the Goonies. It was like before my time.
yeah, I don't know if it comes from that, but it's probably the movie that popularized the idea. Basically, like the fat kid, like he's just chubbier than everyone else, and he pulls up his shirt and just like, like
He's
wiggles
jiggling
around
the
for a while.
fat. Does
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Goonie? There's like a mutant in the Goonies. The hey you guys, like does he like
Yes.
play with the fat of the kid or
No,
no?
no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's actually
I
like,
can't watch that clip on here because it's
well,
like it's a shirtless kid and I don't want to get flagged for that. And also it's like Goonies, so it's like copyright. It's like really sacred.
well, I mean,
So
like, just so you could have seen it, like, off stream real quick, but
off stream. Oh, it's too late now.
but
But yeah, last time we spoke, like in the chat, I gave you like a bunch of advice. Like, are you taking any meaningful steps to kind of remedy, the rut that you're in?
I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that
All right,
tonight.
look, fair enough. Fair enough.
I just wanted to, give you a quick call and just apologize.
No, you're cool, man. You don't have to apologize. Again, like the chat was so chaotic. I wasn't entirely sure what was happening because I can't
Yeah,
see.
so the thing is, like, you're not watching it from YouTube chat. You're using
Yeah,
like external sources that pull the chat.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you were looking at YouTube chat, it was just like nonstop. Timed out by Kite and Chaz. Timed out by Kite and Chaz. Message removed by
Yeah.
Kite
By the
and
way,
Chaz.
none of that was sanctioned by me, you guys. So I apologize on
Yeah,
his behalf.
yeah.
Well,
But
are you excited for the new Superman movie? Are you gonna be watching it?
no, not really.
Good. Yeah, that's a good answer. Good answer. Yeah, because
I
apparently it's like an allegory for like illegal aliens being deported in the U.S. or
Man,
something.
I fucking hate that. Like the article you read literally like it explicitly states that he was a baby, right? So, Gio, a big thing people forget about Superman. He's not Superman. He's not Kal-El first. He's Clark Kent first. He was raised as a small town kid in America, and he was like that for 10 years before he figured out he had powers, right?
Correct. Well,
He's
yeah, I think
Clark
so.
Kent first. He's not an immigrant. And also, I'm sure that there are laws that dictate, like, if there's a little baby that's found out of nowhere, parents can adopt them, right? And they're U.S. citizens. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's a big difference between a little baby being adopted by an American family and, a bunch of, like, middle-aged dudes hopping the border.
You know
So,
what? Why don't we just ask ChatGPT? Where's my phone at? I don't even know where my phone's at.
well,
Yeah,
why
because
don't
I'm
you
like, because I'm.
hop on, X and ask Grok. Grok it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Grok it,
yeah.
bro.
Where's Grok at? Hold on, let me
Yeah,
see if we
where's
can.
Grok when you need it?
Yeah, let's take advantage because apparently there's like a new version of grok, or as I like to call it, cock. Um, and we can just ask it. Okay, so let's just ask hypothetical. If a baby, if a baby from outer space lands somehow um in the United States, let's say Kansas, and is adopted. Well, I can't spell adopted. Is that baby technically an immigrant? Question mark. It seems like it isn't.
Like when I hear immigrant, I think of someone who lived in another country long enough to to like have memories of being in that country, and then they immigrated, like a 20-year-old dude or someone older.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. So according to Grok, legally a baby from outer space adopted in the U.S., e.g., Kansas, wouldn't be class. Would I was right? Wouldn't be classified as an immigrant under current U.S. immigration law. An immigrant is typically defined as a foreign national who enters the U.S. with intent to reside, subject to laws like Immigration and
yeah,
Nationality Act. A baby from space, not being a citizen of any earthly nation, doesn't fit this framework. There's no precedent for extraterrestrial beings in immigration statutes. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, so this
Well, I mean,
allegory just
yeah.
doesn't make a lot of fucking sense.
Trying to make
Also,
Superman
like
somehow modern.
technically speaking, the baby was, you know, a baby, so it's reliant on something to keep it alive, and it was, I guess, adopted. It wasn't even like necessarily adopted, or it
No, no,
was
they
taken in
adopted it.
by the parents, and
No,
they
no, like,
passed the
like
baby off as their own. So it wasn't like a leech. Clark Kent had a fucking job, and he was also like a red blooded American,
yeah.
by
Like
every
it,
meaningful definition.
so Geo, like there's the animated like shows for Superman and Justice League, and
Yeah,
there's one episode where this guy called the Martian Manhunter, he's literally like Green Man from Mars, but he can shapeshift and look
yeah,
like a normal dude, right? And he goes by Superman's home for Christmas. And his parents, say, no, no, if you're staying here, you're gonna get a present because it's Christmas. And like Clark is just playing to, like they're doing a whole bit of like, oh yeah, we had to line your presents with lead so you didn't see them. And Clark literally says, I thought Santa would do that. So it's like people forget that Clark Kent is the main person,
yeah,
right? And just
yeah.
and when you try to
I like this part of this speech here from Grok. That said, the situation's unprecedented. Authorities might debate jurisdiction, but practically the baby would likely be treated as a U.S. person through adoption, not an immigrant. Philosophically, you could argue it's an immigrant from space, but legally, that's a stretch. 100%. Yeah,
thank you,
James
Grok.
Gunn is the fucking liar. And again, like he's bastardizing this
You should
IP.
screenshot. You should screenshot what Grok said and at James Gunn. Like at
Yeah,
James
yeah,
Gunn on.
yeah. You know what? That's a great idea. Let's go fuck with James Gunn. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get my snippet tool. All right, guys, we're gonna fuck with James Gunn. I'm gonna be like, yo, debate me, bro. I'm gonna just act like Pisco and Destiny, but like, debating Dean Withers, the fucking little bitch shill. Be like, debate me, bro. Debate me. Let me see. Uh, at let me see, James Gunn. Yeah, that's him. All right. LOL, you're wrong. Winky face. All right, there we go. Shots fired. All right, so we got a request from LH Drill. Ask about Bigfoot. Born in the Hollow Earth. Can they be citizens? Okay, well, I got a better one. First off, Bigfoot does not spring
Yeah, it's a
forth from
wild
Hollow
animal.
Earth. Well,
Like
no. It's a highly intelligent being, likely has a common ancestry with humans, so they might
well,
exhibit hyper
I
intelligence
mean,
that we are not aware
are
of.
orangutans and primates, are they considered U.S. citizens? I don't think
Well,
so. I mean, they're
that's not what we're
wild
saying.
animals.
Well, first off, orangutans are not native to the U.S., but a Bigfoot is. A Bigfoot is more like us than they are an
So
orangutan.
you're saying orangutan that is born in captivity in a U.S. zoo is not legally a U.S. citizen?
No, because they are
Which,
of a lesser intelligence
yeah,
primate.
and so is Bigfoot.
Well, no. It's very difficult to capture the nature of Bigfoot because of
I
how
really don't want to
elusive
do
and
this.
sneaky
I
the
really
Bigfoot
don't
is.
want to do this bit.
So we're gonna
No.
we're gonna ask you really quick. If Bigfoot is discovered and captured, and has hyper intelligence, much like a regular human, would that Bigfoot creature be given U.S. citizenship status and afforded protections under the Civil Rights Act? All right, let's hear what they say. Chaz would be like, "Well, can I fuck the female Bigfoot?" The discovery of a hyper intelligent Bigfoot would raise unprecedented legal questions, as U.S. law is designed for humans and doesn't address non-human intelligent beings. Let's break it down. Okay, so I'm not gonna read all this U.S. citizenship stuff. Civil Rights Act. Let's see. Practical considerations. Personhood. Some legal scholars argue for personhood for highly intelligent non-humans, chimpanzees, or AI. Interesting, citing a cognitive capacity. If Bigfoot demonstrates human-like intelligence, advocacy groups might push for personhood via lawsuits, drawing on cases like Non-Human Rights Project versus Brenny, where habeas corpus was sought for an elephant. Wow, we are learning so much here on the Watch Frogs. Government response. If captured, Bigfoot might initially be treated as a scientific specimen or a national security concern.
Yeah, we should dissect it for research.
God damn it, Chaz, no. Delaying any rights discussion, public and political pressure could influence outcomes. Imagine debates over whether Bigfoot is a citizen or a protected entity. Precedent. No laws explicitly cover intelligent non-human beings. Analogies might be drawn to Native American tribal recognition or corporate personhood, but these are imperfect. New laws would likely be needed. Okay, so you know what? Right here, what I'm reading from Grok, this would make an excellent movie. This is a good story right here. This is a great debate.
With Bigfoot is just boring.
Look,
Try that.
Chaz, you're being a motherfucking hater. You're obviously a
Yes.
non-believer of the Bigfoot. You're
I can't
obviously a
believe this
believer of the
Bigfoot doesn't
moon
exist.
theory. You're a moon truther, okay? So you just don't see the way that me and the rest of the greenskins do. And it's really
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I guess I'm not real green skinned. I should just, fuck off.
Watch Frog, the birth of the Bigfoot rights. Yeah, possibly. Look, I would spearhead the Bigfoot rights advocacy groups. Whatever the greenskins would go up to bat for our furry human-like ancestors. And then Chaz would probably just be there just fucking hating on us. Watch Eraserhead. That's the best movie. I haven't seen that one. Liberals would try to let Bigfoot eat at our restaurants and shit in the $10 schools. Before you know it, they'll be working on Carnival Cruise. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. No, Buckaroo Bonds, I know. It's so racist. Yeah, it's like a Bigfoot only water fountain. Look, there's a great movie here. Bigfoot rights activism. It's gonna be the next thing. All right, we gotta move on.
And the movie ends with someone just shooting Bigfoot.
I don't know why.
Imagine just how anticlimactic that would be. You have people. You have one side trying to riot for Bigfoot's rights, and then you have the lobbyist governments trying to figure out what to do with it, and then just a dude just shoots Bigfoot, kills it right then, and movie ends. Cut to black, produced by Michael Bay. Right, just
oh man.
Or how about this? How about this? What Bigfoot gets a gun? Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that would just turn to Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes basically is just the Bigfoot. Yeah, whatever.
No, not really. I feel like if I were to, if I were to mash two movies together to kind of make a coherent Bigfoot epic, A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey and E.T. You combine those two, there's your Bigfoot movie. All right, so you got Bigfoot on the run. people trying to like save
Basically,
Bigfoot,
I
and
put
then
Bigfoot in
you
like
got
my
like a lawyer
so-
trying
so-
to fight for his rights.
Imagine this, Gio. Imagine this. Like the main character is driving his Tesla truck, his cyber truck, right?
Yeah.
And in the back, in the trunk area, is Bigfoot. They're trying to evade the police. They're all behind him. They're shooting at the car. One of the tire pops, and it looks all done for. And Bigfoot starts like he claps his hands together, closes his eyes, and starts to pray. And the car starts flying off.
Okay,
It's
that,
like
that might be a
ET.
little too. That's too much. That might be too
Oh,
much.
that's too much. A Bigfoot like praying and making a Cybertruck fly. That's too much. Okay.
Yeah, the pro Elon propaganda would just be too thick. It'd just be too autistic and nerdy. I feel like
In fact, the main character will be Elon Musk.
Yeah, it'll have to be a slate truck. I don't know if it'll fit.
And fuck it, you know what? How about this? The people chasing him, it's Trump's administration. We just make it a whole like, we make it a whole metaphor about.
He's like,
Elon
we
trying
need
to-
the Bigfoots. They're just so big and strong, and I hear those
Bigfoot's
female
too American.
Sasquatches. They got fat
lives
pussies.
in the woods.
The incels need someone to hug at night. Just maybe we need the Bigfoots.
Bigfoot body pillow.
Yeah. Look, dude, I feel like we just came up with a movie that's like infinitely better than anything that's like come out in like the last 5 years.
This movie is dog shit. This movie is
This movie's
god
fucking awesome. Boy discovers Bigfoot. Bigfoot lives with boy and his family. Government intervenes.
Bigfoot
Public
rips
pressure
the family apart.
breaks.
Bigfoot
like they
tears
run to
little
defend-
boy in half and goes on a rampage. Yeah, you're right.
And then like at the end, like some like random angry like incel just shoots Bigfoot. They're angry for some reason.
I really do think that'll be the best way to end the film. It's just the most anticlimactic shit.
Oh man. Oh dude.
CGO is
Look, dude, I
subverting
think this is a great
expectations.
movie idea. Like, there's just so much world building, and it could be so contemporary and funny, and like I feel like this works. Bigfoot could get kicked out of a Costco for taking too many free samples, and a blind person who hangs out with a townie wants to give it rights because they don't know it's a Bigfoot.
So basically, like the little boy just as Bigfoot. Like the little boy goes to Walmart, buys like the triple XL shirts and pants, and tries to dress up Bigfoot as a person.
I like the imagery of the Bigfoot somehow ending up at a carnival cruise and like twerking and like going to
like
school.
Bigfoot ends at like a freak show event, like old carnivals and shit, right? Where you see
Yeah.
like fucking-
Was he Bugger Bunch of IRL? Look like a cop. I can play that role pretty well, I think. Maybe. Well, I don't know. I gotta keep this in the back of my mind because I feel like dude. You know what? A Bigfoot puppet. I think I should make a Bigfoot puppet. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, well, all practical effects, no CGI.
No, it'll be a legit puppet. I just made a new one, and and I mentioned earlier that I'm working on my Dawn of War 40K puppet. Because I want to do like really fun, like I'm gonna do it like a new channel, separate from politics and the watchfrogs, and it'll be all like 40K stuff. And do I have it here with me? No.
Have fun playing with your female custodies, Geo.
Fuck you. How dare you? How dare you? All right, well, dude, that was I think that this is great. I feel like this would be like a fun thing to explore with Pisca since he's a lawyer, but he's been kind of quiet lately. He's just him and his blue team. They're just taking so many L's lately. So yeah. Let me see. Let me read some of these. Bigfoot hangs out in some guy's garden, finds a little green beetle, and has a moment with it, then smashes it. Ooh. Yeah, smashes it like in the sexual sense. Let me see.
No, he just like crushes it in the palm of his hands.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny.
Actually, how about this? What the little boy, he has a pet Hercules beetle, and Bigfoot accidentally kills it, and that's what sparks like some conflict between the boy and the Bigfoot. That's the movie title: A Boy and His Bigfoot.
A Boy and His Bigfoot. I don't know. I'll think about it. Yeah, and the boy's name
Bigfoot's
is Chaz.
Or Bigfoot's little boy. How about that? And we named the Bigfoot Epstein.
No, we're not doing that. We already talked about Epstein for like 40 minutes. I don't know if you missed the beginning of the stream, but I was going pretty fucking hard.
Yeah,
you don't care about any of that shit, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, you're just like, whatever, I don't care.
Guess what? No, the list is never gonna get released until every single person on that list is dead.
Dude, you know what's
Like,
funny? Like, I hope that Trump comes out. It's like, I'll release the list only when Half-Life 3 is released. Gabe, the ball's in your court now. Like, that
Gabe,
would be based. I'd be like, okay,
Gabe,
dude.
get on it.
It's like, dude, they've been waiting forever. They're waiting for
You wait
Half-Life
for
3.
it.
The story is not finished. It hasn't concluded yet. The list after
They're
Half-Life
hunting
3.
down the Freemans, just like ICE is hunting down all those filthy illegals.
Pretty much. All right, well, we got to move on, guys. There's not much left. Again, I didn't want this stream. Fuck, it's already 2 hours. This is a good stream.
Yeah, I've taken over the last. 30
Oh no,
minutes.
you're fine. Like I said, I wanted you here. So just a really quick consume sins, guys. We have to do a really quick one. Gather around, children. Well, now that I have Chaz here with us, Chaz, what have you consumed lately? You must confess, my son.
Just your standard junk food and fast food.
Disgusting. Seed oils. Your body is a vessel. Do you think that's what God wants for you?
I don't really care.
All right, well, you're going to take that back. But you know who is consuming? Over at Walmart, we got the flop bin. More like the slop bin.
That's a good one. That's a good
And what have we got in here? We got the female Ghostbusters. We have Solo, the Star Wars adventure, and we have
$5 for the Ghostbusters movie. Oh, that's too much.
yeah, it's way too expensive. But we got a ton of slop, a lot of goy slop here. This is a lot of
A lot
consume
of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, a
it's
lot of
modern Disney Star Wars.
Yeah,
too.
this is modern Disney slop. I think is Solo a movie or is that a show?
Yeah. It's a movie. It's like a standalone movie of what Han Solo was
Oh,
doing before
Wow,
Episode 4.
it's
Like,
probably
his smug-
more forgettable slop, more forgettable cash grab nonsense.
Yeah.
We got Lion King. I don't know if that's the original or
No,
if or is that the live action one?
it's probably the live action one if it's in the slot bin.
Yeah, you're probably right because this is just pure slop. Again, I don't know who would pay for all this garbage. Probably Boogie 2988 if we're being honest. But yeah, this is exactly where it belongs. But as Chaz mentioned, I think $5 is too much. Amen. I think anybody who buys this slop is sinning quite a bit. This is too much, and it's almost this is all literally woke Disney slop. Like 90% of this looks like just woke Disney slop. And then of course Ghostbusters. I remember one of my favorite articles reading here on the Watch Frogs was I think it was Leslie Jones, who's the Magic American in the group. She's like the one that's like, oh hell no, the ghost, wow. And she's just like she did a presser and she's like, yo, I don't give a. Is when the was it the Frozen Kingdom or when they basically did the sequel to Ghostbusters, the video game. So it was like a proper Ghostbusters with some of the original characters. And she's like, I can't believe they not including us women. And this is just some shit that Trump would do. And I just fell on my ass laughing. It was so fucking funny. And I'm just like, don't you realize that like a lot of the people that are like associated with that film like really don't like Trump? Maybe Bill Murray might be based, but I don't know. But it was pretty damn hilarious. Did you watch the Frozen Kingdom or whatever the hell it was called? Chaz, did you like that?
The Frozen sequel?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
I pirated it. It's kind of bored. I was just once again just like texting people on my phone. It was kind of boring. It just dude like the magic is gone. The magic is gone. I feel like our Bigfoot story is a lot more interesting and compelling and fun than like any of this Ghostbuster shit.
I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
You say the magic is gone, but truthfully, was it even there to begin with?
Maybe decades ago it was.
No.
Many moons ago, the magic was probably there.
Nope.
Look, yes. Don't note me. I'm telling you yes.
I'm telling you no.
All right, so chat, you guys need to start confessing your consume sins right now. I want to see consume confessions in the chat. Let me read some of these comments. That was such a bad movie. I've been drinking Zavia sodas. I I waste too much time. I bought a vape recently that I feel bad about buying. Hasn't arrived yet. I'm pretty minimalist these days, though. I am sinful. Well, Buckaroo Banzai, as long as you beg for forgiveness, it shall be received. Yeah, dude, vapes are just way too expensive, man. Again, the one that I have right now, it's almost done, and it was given to me for free, but I shouldn't be using it. I have consumed this vape pen. Amen. But I'm not gonna cry about it like some fruitcake named Dean Withers. Let's see. I'll take it if they pay me $5 so I can play frisbee with it later. Yeah, it seems like a waste of resources though. It's just so sad that they wasted Blu-ray discs to make this slop. Amen. Yeah, Gio's right. Chaz doesn't know any Kino. I like those $5 trash bins filled with Blu-rays and DVDs at Walmart. You know what, Brad Skagg? I have a soft spot for some of the Blu-ray bargain bin stuff at Walmart, but usually it's like I used to see like multi-packs. So it's like the Godfather Blu-ray extravaganza pack or something, and it's like $5 for like the entire like Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
No, Gio,
Or
I
it's
just
like
don't. I don't
Italian
care
gangster
about
movies, like
Godfather.
Departed and like Goodfellas and like a couple other ones. I'm like, yeah, see that is worth it. That's cool.
But I mean, I kind of disagree. I don't think the Godfather's all that good.
What the fuck? All right, where's the ban button? I'm leaving the chat. You don't mean that, do you?
No, I mean, I actually do.
Oh,
It's,
what? You don't think it's that great? Like, do you have any like
No,
specific
like,
criticisms?
I mean, I just can't really get through it. I'll get to the scene where they're sitting in the chairs, they're talking. I just can't get past that point. It's just boring.
Oh, dude,
And like, and even before that, it's just like it's trying to push a point. It's trying to shove it down your throat, and it's just like, okay, I get it. So what?
what the fuck, bruh, dude, your anime stuff is more like heavy-handed on whatever
I'm doing a Family Guy
message.
bit. I'm doing a Family Guy.
Oh
bit.
my god, you
Like,
motherfucker! You motherfucker!
Yeah, when Peter is like, I did not care for the Godfather. And
Yeah,
everyone's
I
like, what the
remember
fuck, man?
They're like, bro, like you can't be serious. Yeah, I remember that.
I haven't seen it, but like,
What?
yeah, I mean,
Oh my
I haven't
dude,
seen
you
it.
you
I'm not-
almost had me going. I'm like, dude, you're being
Well,
a
no, I
dunce,
actually
okay?
haven't seen it, but I just thought it was like, saying you brought up the Godfather, I knew I had to try it, and I got you. I got you. With
Yeah,
it,
okay, chat. My blood pressure is stabilizing after admittedly being trolled. Whew.
I hope someone in chat understood exactly what I was doing.
Well, I mean, I don't know, Chaz. Like you got me. It
yeah,
insists
it
on
insists
itself.
upon itself, Gio.
I guess. I get.
No,
Like, I'm not
that's
really
what
like
Peter
a,
says.
I'm not
That's
really
what
a big.
Peter-
Yeah, I'm not really like the biggest fan of Family Guy, but it insists upon itself is a really, really good quote. I really, really like that one. That's
it
a good
insists
one.
upon itself, Lois. What does that even mean? It insists.
You know,
upon
like
itself.
what's funny? It's like I actually just like literally like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I saw The Godfather for the first time because the movie came out. All those movies came out before my time, and like all my life, I've been told that The Godfather was like the greatest thing ever. Like you just gotta watch it. Like it's so amazing. Yada yada yada. And I ended up watching it, and I really enjoyed it. Like I really, really enjoyed it. Let's see, the Extreme Ghostbuster was a real diverse show. They have goth chick, Mexican, a black guy, and a wheelchair guy. It was good back then since it wasn't all up in your face about being woke. You mean the cartoon? I think I did watch the cartoon when I was a kid in the 90s, and I really enjoyed it. I loved Ghostbusters as a kid. And even though like those movies came out before my time, they were still beloved in the 90s. And, that's what we would do. We would go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video and we would consume these movies. And they weren't like forcing like an agenda down your throat. And to be honest, there was a proper sequel to Ghostbusters 2, and it was better than the second one, actually. And it was in the form of a video game. So if you go to YouTube and you're like, Ghostbusters video game, all cutscenes, and it plays like a really good movie. And it was infinitely better than the Ghostbuster 2016 woke remix, and it was honestly better than the Frozen Kingdom or whatever, and the Ghostbusters I guess the new one with the kids and Paul Rudd. I forget what it was called. The story. Let's see. Gio got to start with the rage bait. The Godfather is pleasant viewing. Yes, Chaz, we know. The story is that his teacher said that about The Sound of Music. I don't know if I've seen The Sound of Music. I probably should. I'm sounding very uncultured.
I mean, I haven't either. But
Yeah, I'm trying.
That's to be expected.
Yeah.
Wow,
What the fuck?
Chaz is an uncultured like hood weeb. Who could have seen that one come?
Well, I've never seen The Sound of Music either, but I'm also not a weeb, so maybe there's some leeway that can be granted to me and not you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, like, look, I'll send you some links so you can watch The Godfather for free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't got to sign up for anything. Just,
I know where I can find it.
well, okay. I do like it and I do recommend it. Um, let's see. I don't know. I don't know what you're posting and what is this ghost emoji. You post 3. I don't get what that means. Let me see. What else did well I've consumed level 5 drywall skimming knives. They are fantastic. I am doing a really big job tomorrow and I need them. So yay. Fair, I haven't seen it either. Oh, Brad Skag, I also recommend it to you. I recommended it to everybody in the chat. Born musical, no thanks. Yeah, musical. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I enjoyed like a good musical. I just don't really know that many. I was talking with the Swazzle puppet people, the guys who do the puppets for Crank Inkers, and right now they're like literally producing a ton, like building a ton of puppets for Avenue Q, which got a Tony Award. And Avenue Q utilizes like actual performers and puppets, like legitimate puppets, like the kind that I make, but they're slightly bigger. And I'm really excited about seeing how that turns out. I haven't really seen or know too much about Avenue Q, but from what I've seen, it's probably right up my alley. It's probably really fun. I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. All the people I know that talk about it are rainbows. Dude, LA's Drill. Funny story. When I was, I think, in high school, I think I was like a junior or a senior. Me and some friends, we went to go see it in this like shady ass fucking movie theater in the ghetto. Cause like, okay, I don't know anything about Rocky Horror Picture. I don't know anything about the subculture that's surrounding the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But when people go to see the Rocky Horror Picture movie, it's always in these ghetto ass, shady, fucking rundown movie theaters. These like low key independent theaters, and they're the people who like put on the fucking cinema, the movie. There's like people who like stand in front of the screen and they act it out as the movie's playing in the background. And there are people also like regular people like myself, I guess, in the audience, and they're also singing and fucking like acting out and responding to like the actors, and like people are like throwing shit at the screen. It's fucking weird, dude. Like I'm a fucking weird guy. I'm out there, I talk about Bigfoot, talk about how the moon landing is fake, which is true, and all this other shit. But I'm not that fucking weird. And I noticed that the kind of people that gravitate towards the Rocky Horror Picture Show, they're like theater kids. They're all rainbow. They're all about like trans rights and stuff. Like just fucking weird people that like I wouldn't want around my dog or like children or my family. It's really off-putting. For those who don't know what that movie is about, it's basically about a scientist who basically creates a man to make love to and abuse, I guess. I don't know. It's really, really, really fucking weird. And I'm actually, it's so weird. I'm surprised there hasn't been a remake of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that is ultra fucking woke, that is anti-MAGA, anti-MGTOW, that like promotes trans rights and promotes transhumanism and all this other shit. Like I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, because
You
the
make it
Rocky
the
Horror Picture
Geo.
Show has such a massive following. It honestly
You
confuses
should
me.
make it. Yeah, like you should make
No.
the remake. No, like
If I
dude,
was look, if I was paid like $20 million, I would be more than happy to write a Rocky Horror Picture remake. I would be more than happy to do that, and I'd probably have to bring somebody on to help me write the songs.
Dude, I'd help.
Oh, okay. Let's
Yeah.
see. Rocky Horror is all right. I don't know if it's all right. I didn't have a good time, dude. I just felt like I was being fucking molested the whole time watching that shit.
By the
Back when
audience or by the movie?
both. Yeah, had a goth babe show it to me. Yeah, dude, the goth babes, they do love the Rocky Horror Picture movie, largely because of the Tim Curry character. I think he's the scientist, but he's like dressed up as like a queen, and he's like dancing around like all slutty and shit. It's so weird. My ex GF made me watch Rocky Horror. F no. I'm so sorry posting that clarity. I'm glad she's your ex girlfriend now. Tim Curry is good in it. I mean, he is good. Tim Curry is a really, really talented guy, and it's sad that he's gone. I hope he was not a part of the Epstein tribe. It was one of Tim Curry's best performances, Rocky Horror Show. But yeah, it was him being a drag queen. Meatloaf was there, and he sang a great number. It's Trans Frankenstein. Oh God, I didn't know so many people in the chat have quite intimate knowledge of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But it's like, but dude, we all have the same story. Ex-girlfriend took us, weird friends took it. Like we went with other people. We were taken to this thing. Like
Thankfully,
dude,
I've never been held captive.
yeah. Oh, dude, I hope not. Because, dude, it took me by surprise. Because I know nothing about Rocky Horror Picture Show. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know this movie existed. They're just like, hey, Froggy, we're going to go to this really weird, shady ass fucking movie theater. We're going to go watch the Horror Picture Show. And, like, people were just, like, screaming obscene things at the screen. And, like, there was somebody like walking around some dude walking around in his underwear, dude. Like I said, like I'm fucking weird, bros. It was fine. And I got to rub on big goth titties.
It sounds to me like you loved it.
No,
when
I
the guy
didn't.
started to strut.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got it. Fuck you. Brad Skag, it was fine, and I got to rub on big goth titties. Look, I mean, if you got some action out of it, dude, like, look, if I'm with a hot, if I'm with some cutie goth chick. And she's like, hey, me and my friends are going to go to this thing. Like, look, I would have to go. I would have to go, and I would pretend to enjoy myself. I'd pretend not to be such a tight ass about my core beliefs. And then I would, rub on some god titties.
I'd call her a dumb bitch and slap her.
Disavow violence towards women. See, here at the Watchfrogs, we respect women and feminism. She made me watch The Prestige. Well, The Prestige wasn't bad. I didn't ask to go to Rocky Horror. She just told me to down a J on her porch, then watch a movie. Oh, okay, well, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, no, we went to like an actual theater, dude. We like paid like $5 or whatever to go see this shit. Damn. Good memories, I guess. I mean, it was a funny experience, like it was a fun. Now that I look back, it's like kind of funny, but like I did feel kind of weird because like even though like I'm a bad dude, like there's still a part of me that's like kind of wholesome and innocent, and I feel like a little bit of that was robbed that night because I didn't realize just how fucking weird people can be. Because I grew up like in a relatively like affluent like suburb, and I went to like a nice school and stuff, and like I had like normal friends in college, and we just did like regular party kid stuff. And when you start like getting into like hipster culture or like the Rocky Horror Picture type subcultures, like you start meeting some really weird people. Like I don't know how to explain it. When you know, right, bros? So yeah, I think that's enough consumed sins. I think we've consumed all the sins that we've gotten. I think we got a couple 3 or 4 stuff to get into, and then we are out of here. Like again, I don't want to do a 4-hour show, you guys. So
yeah. I mean, if you just want to like call it here and go to bed,
Well, I mean, I'm not going to bed. I got to finish the show. I mean, we're gonna be done in like 30 minutes. So 304s. What is going on in the love space? Hypocrite posts. My 27-year-old fiance or female fiance, and I guess this is posted by a 30-year-old male. And I just had a terrible fight over sex, and now I'm not even sure we're getting married anymore. Oh boy. I'm sorry if this is long. If this is going to sound panicked and frantic, but we just had this fight barely 12 hours ago, and I'm still afraid and terrified.
And your first instinct is go to Reddit and
I mean, this is how you know this guy doesn't really have friends, because like, dude, you got to talk to your bros, you got to talk to your dad or your mom about this. You can't be going to the fucking internet. But if it's really embarrassing, I can see the utility in going to strangers. Anyways, let's continue. My fiance and I are planning to have a wedding this upcoming Saturday. We have invited nearly 100 people. We've planned this wedding for months and months, and everyone is looking to be everything is looking to be perfect. Yesterday in the afternoon, my fiance started making moves on me, where his mood was clear that he wanted to have. Oh, so this is the female posting this. Okay, so the female said yesterday in the afternoon, my fiance started making moves on me, where his mood was clear that he wanted to have sex. I told him that I wasn't exactly in the mood, and he got irritated because he hadn't had sex for a while, and he felt like I wasn't satisfying his needs. Yeah, girl, a man's got needs. That's the whole point of being married with a woman, is making love. I told him that I'm just not a super high libido sexual person. And he immediately said, yeah, a woman who has had sex with over 100 men is definitely low libido.
Okay, so he's already like,
Ooh.
willing to like wife up. Like, he made her his fiance, and he knows. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, you've slept around a lot.
Yeah, dude, like you literally got a streetwalker and put a ring on it. You saw a woman who's been pumped and dumped by 100 different men, and you're like, I'm gonna make an honest woman out of her. Yeah, dude, this is called straight up delusion. I was absolutely stunned and demanded he apologize on the spot. Instead, he doubled down and said that I'm
Basically, I mean,
clearly a sexual person, but just not for him.
no, this is clearly she fucked
Oh,
around. She had her fun. She got
I'm
cream
ready to
pied
settle
by all these
down
other dudes,
now.
and now she's ready to settle
I'm
down. She's
ready to
not high
settle
libido
down
anymore.
now. He has had insecurity and low self confidence issues before in this regard, or in regards to this. This caused me to get angry because I told him all that stuff about my past relationships because I trusted him and I didn't want it thrown in my face.
Yeah, and he trusts you to, get him off, and now you're not. So, Rip Bozo.
When I told him that those sexual encounters happened when I was younger, he yelled at me in a way that I have never heard, hoarse, cracking, and so loud the neighbors could hear his voice, and told me that if I was so against the idea of sex now that he would almost never get it after marriage. Hold on, let me read that. And told me that if I was so against the idea of sex now that he would almost
Yeah, like
never get
if
it
she
after.
wasn't gonna sleep with him now, how bad would it be when they were actually married? Is what he's
Yeah, this is
saying.
a good
Like
point.
he can already see like, oh, if I'm not getting any now, right?
Yeah,
In like 2 or 3 years, he's not getting any ever. So he's like,
yeah.
oh, okay,
He then
this is
shook
how.
his head. He then shook his head and shouted, "Fuck all of this," in the same voice, and walked out the door. I got a call from the venue 2 hours later asking if they had heard right that we are canceling the ceremony and reminded me that the deposit we put in could not be returned. I'm torn and confused. What do I even do in this situation? Who do I call? He's not answering my calls. And I don't know how to bring anything like this up with friends or family. 12 hours ago, I was so happy because I was getting married to a guy I'm in love with. And now my future is crashing around me, and it's all because I wasn't in the mood for sex. Too long, didn't
Well,
read.
okay,
How do I deal with an insecure fiance who needs sex? And then somebody wrote, he dodged a bullet.
yeah, he absolutely
Mic
does.
drop.
Yeah, it's not even just like, oh, you were in the, like, I get the feeling that this was a few months of like not anything happening, and he finally realized, just what he got himself into. This isn't just like once he asks, "Hey, can we do it?" and she says, "Nah, not tonight." No, this is probably months upon, like weeks upon months of, "Can we? No, I'm not in the mood." Blah blah blah, and then, he suddenly realized, "Oh, she slept around with all these dudes when she's younger. She's not doing it with me now," and then he calls it off. Cool.
Yeah, no,
Like, hey, guess what? It's obvious he's not satisfied in the relationship. He's not getting what he wants. And like, hey, it's good that he's not forcing himself on her. Like good. But
yeah, he's
you know,
respecting the boundaries. Look, when you get into a relationship, there's definitely an expectation of this activity ensuing somewhat regularly. How frequent? Everybody's different. Like, look, I've been in moods where I'm just like, I don't feel like doing shit, and it's happened. Like, it does happen.
yeah,
But
but
if he's in a
those
relationship,
moods last months on end, right?
well, yeah. I mean, look, if this guy, let's say he's in a relationship with this girl for, let's say, 3 years, 2 years even,
Okay.
and he's only getting love making once a month, once every two, or something so infrequent to the point that he's willing to scream at her. That is a problem. And the girl wants to act like this is a him issue, and I don't think so. It's like, look, the guy is noticing patterns. You confess you've banged over 100 different men.
And don't you just love her?
You've
Like
had
she's
sex
trying
with 100 different men, and you are 27 years old. That is fucking crazy.
and she's
And
trying to spin it as like,
it,
oh,
but
I told you
now,
this, and
but
like,
now you
I
found
trust you
a
with it.
sucker who's gonna give you the ring, the wedding ceremony, the Instagram pictures, you can get all this attention and clout and that all these women want, that princess moment, but you're not willing to make love to him. But all these other men who were not willing to commit, who were not going to put the ring on it, that weren't going to give you those Instagram moments, you willingly, got dicked down by them. But a man that you claim to love, you don't want to give him the things a man needs. Like if a man can't have, like, dude, honestly, like men need sex. If like there's so many dudes out there, like that's why like the trans stuff like drives me crazy, because I'm just like, it's so crazy to regular people, because like as a man, like if I had to choose between like not having a dick or dying, like just fucking kill me. Like it's pointless. So like again, like he's got his equipment, but he's not putting it to use. So the marriage is worthless. This relationship is worthless, especially since at one point you were very willing to give it up, but you don't give it up to the man that is going to put a ring on it, to the man that is going to love you and cherish you and honor you for the rest of his life. This dude dodged the bullet. Full stop. He's doing the right thing. He's doing well. First off, as soon as you found out this information, get tested, run away, and don't even call her anymore. Break it off. And that's it. I wouldn't tolerate. I mean, dude, a chick like this is like a one-time thing. We meet at a club, we meet at a bar, we meet at a party, and that's it. This is not someone that you're gonna take home to meet your parents. This is not someone you're gonna bring around your friends. Again, I don't know what is it with these guys that think they can save a woman like this, that they can make an honest woman out of somebody like this, and you just can't. I just don't see it.
Like it's pointless. The second she tells you about like, oh, I've had a rough past about this stuff, it's like, no, just don't. It's one thing
Yeah.
if she's had like one or two boyfriends, but like,
Yeah.
and even then, that's still like, oh, is he still around? Do you still talk to your ex? But 100 dudes. So even just assuming like 18, like 100 dudes in 9 years, assuming that, that's still a lot.
Yeah. I mean, well, we gotta like be realistic. Let's just say this started when she was 18 years old, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like this is
It could have
wild.
started even younger, and it's like that's even that's a whole.
Yeah,
Other
I mean, I don't want to tread down that territory, but
I
I
know.
mean, Well, let's see what the comments are saying. How the hell did dude not figure this out before proposing? Better late than never, I guess. Yeah, and then I'm like, most men are blue pilled. Yeah, I mean that's basically This is why. Dude found his balls in the final hour. Story of redemption. I mean, this is a story of redemption. Look, homie. Look, it's easy to point and laugh and say all this stuff, but like when you fall, like love is like a hell of a drug, and he probably did love this woman. He was willing to commit. He spent all the money. He was doing what he thought was necessary, but he wasn't getting his end of the deal. And it sucks to look at a relationship as transactional, but when you are involved with somebody else romantically, there are legitimate expectations. There really are, and then this is an obvious one because we got a man and a woman, and homie's not being fulfilled. That's a problem. That really is. And again, dude, like you should have had your balls when you first like met. Like you should have figured this out like the first week of knowing this chick. Let's see, who needs sex to feel loved? She wasn't in love with him, nor did she want to fuck him. He was just the stable guy with the resources. She was going to cheat on him endlessly. The fact that she doesn't recognize that sex should be sacred and a way to show love is a huge red flag. Correct. Yeah, dude. Like sex is a very, very intimate, romantic thing. It's not just some disgusting slop on a porn website. Like there's more to it. There's more to it. There's a reason why, the Hollywood sexuals want to sexualize children and shit. We talked about that with like the Ilio movie last week. There's a reason we want to devalue it and devalue this experience and cheapen it by forcing it on everybody, even little kids. It's sickening, you guys. This is sick. The beta provider got upset she won't put out for him like she did for the previous 100 chads, despite being the only one willing to support and marry her. Yeah, dude, correct. 100%. Now, she probably had expectations of chads, of those 100 chads. She's like, yeah, this jailbird chad, I'm gonna straighten him out. He's gonna do right by me. He's gonna get a job. Prison chad never got a job. He wanted to fuck around. and you wanted to stay a bad boy. Regular, lawyer Chad, off high rise Chad, nope, because he's got more options. Banker Chad, nope. Football Chad, nope. They knew what she was about. They knew it was a one time thing. But then you got some soy boy who was like, yeah, I can deal with this. I can fix her. I can make an honest woman out of her. It just didn't work out that way. I hope the story is true because it made me very happy. More men need to find this attitude. I think this is more common than people think, but it's so embarrassing. A lot of guys just don't talk about it. I've heard this story before. Just talking with fellas. We're at the wine bar. Talking about relationships and stuff. Talking about women and dating. And there are dudes who like go through stuff like this. They're like, yeah, man, like her behavior was inconsistent and it just didn't really work out. And I saw it at the 11th hour and then I bailed. And I'm like, good for you. I love my future husband so much. It's not enough to have sex with him. Everyone but him. This is an old post, but again, he wasn't wrong and he did the right thing. I've never read it. She forgot you can't start withholding sex until you've been married a few years, and then you can take half his shit. Oh, dude, this is grim, bro. This is giving me black pill vibes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Oh God. Let me see. Let me read some of this. No hymen, no diamond. Very based. Women don't want to provide. Women. Oh, I read that already. I only talk to my ex when to my ex when Jen is involved. Oh, Brad. Oh, you shouldn't be talking to your ex. A Walt always fucking beta.
Thankfully, all my exes are not even really exes. They're just e-girls on like Twitter and shit. So it's like,
let's see. This guy wrote from Bad Billy Pratt. Welcome to hell, pal. She, I guess this is a girlfriend, 37 female, said no to my proposal. This is a 40-year-old male posting this. So 3 days into a 15-day vacation. Now what? Welcome to hell? Yeah, dude. This is right. Again, this is one of the things where it's just like, okay, so like men can be kind of dumb, and this is how they get blindsided. They don't know how to recognize patterns in a woman because one of the problems is they put the pussy on the pedestal. It's one of the issues. Another is just like failing to read between the lines and also just not recognizing patterns early on in the relationship. So, okay, so first off, let's just get started here. We have been dating for 8 months and have talked about desiring marriage and children eventually. Neither of us have been married and neither of us has kids. We have met each other's families and everybody gets along well. So they're 37 and 40, whatever. We have been on several 2 or 3 or 4 day trips in a relationship, but for 2 months, I've been planning our big 2-week summer vacation, which she has been very excited about. One specific request she had was spending a day in Cinque Terre, Italy.
So he's flying her out to Italy for 2 weeks. And like this isn't the first big vacation that they've had.
Yeah. So there's already red flags here. I'm glad you're noticing. Let's finish this up. This is a short one. I planned it for our 3rd day in Italy. Hired a well-reviewed photographer to capture the moment and choose the perfect spot just outside Nissan Dorma in Marala. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, I know." When I knelt, she put her hands to her face, cried all expected, then shook her head no. I stood up and she hugged me, then ran off to a less busy spot. I gathered our stuff and went and stood a few meters away. Oh, boy. All right,
don't know why. Okay, they're both single. They've talked about having a family. Okay, so dude, if she said no, that means she doesn't want to have kids with you. So, okay, damn. I'm sorry, Rip Bozo. At that point, you just, if you, I assume, like, are you spending the entire 2 weeks in the same hotel and shit? Or if you're going to fly to multiple different places over the course of the 2 weeks, cancel those reservations, or like, just fuck off. Just go back home. Just don't. The rest of like the what would it be 12 days? Those 12 days would just suck.
Yeah, there's a few things going on here, for sure. So first off, maybe proposing within 8 months might be a little extreme, Maybe that's just me being kind of
no, no,
conservative.
no. Like she's 37 and he's 40. You
Okay, so
either
they okay,
propose
maybe
or
you're
you
right.
don't.
All right, so we gotta take that into account too. So maybe less than a year is probably ideal at this age range. But I'm
Exactly.
just speaking in generalities. Maybe 8 months is a little too soon. But what I see here is a woman taking advantage of a simp, of another sucker who put the pussy on the pedestal. And here's a dead giveaway. See, so she's not willing to marry this dude. She'll sleep with him casually. Because he is
She'll let
taking her
him
on trips
plan the
on 2 to
trips.
3 to 4 day trips on
Yeah.
several. So that several is like not a couple. Let's say maybe 4 or 5 trips in a year. Not even a year, 8 months.
Eight, within the span of 8 months, she's managed to get him to take her to like. Did she like? Was to say she requested that they spend a day in Italy, so she's telling him, "I want to go here and do this." And what does he do? I'll right on that. I'll make it happen. So in those few other 2 or 3 day trips, maybe they went to London, maybe they went to this place or in Rome or whatever. So she's managing to get this guy to take her to places she wants to go. Most likely he's paying for it, or at least paying for the hotel, plane tickets, whatever. And obviously we're going off a lot of assumptions, right? It's just
Yeah.
three
I
paragraphs.
mean,
We're gonna
it's pretty
go off
obvious to
of
me
it,
just based
but
on what I'm reading here. Based on what I'm reading
yeah,
here, this just looks like a woman who is a user. She's just using
yeah.
this guy because he's got money to take her on these extravagant, very exotic trips to Europe.
And once
And
she sees how he's
he's
getting
providing
rich,
her
you know,
with much needed attention. He's providing her with those Instagram moments, with those Snapchat moments, and he wasn't, again, you were not noticing patterns, you weren't able to read between lines. I would feel like I would feel like there were hints that existed prior to this that would suggest that she would say no to a marriage proposal, that she would say no to giving you children.
I mean, the biggest one is the fact that she's not married right now, that she has no kids,
Yeah,
that
that
she's single at 37, but she's a career woman who wants to travel.
yeah.
So
So
what the
obviously,
fuck?
homie's got
Yeah.
money, and he's looking in the wrong places for love.
Yeah.
I personally would not have pursued a woman like this. Um, no, not in a serious relationship at the very least. Yeah. And then he just stands around her, hovering around her like a little puppy dog as she's crying about the. She's not crying because she hurt his feelings. She's not crying
She's
because the
upset that the
proposal.
vacation's ruined now.
Correct. She is crying because she's going to miss the exotic trips to Europe, to Mexico, Cancun, to the wherever. That's what she's gonna miss. She's gonna miss the beta bucks for sure. That's what I see here, and it's unfortunate that
Like
so
Gio,
many guys fall for this shit.
Gio, you said like, oh, 8 months is relatively quick. How much time do you genuinely need to be around someone to understand their mannerisms, the kind of person they are? Like, in all honesty, you could probably understand a person within 8 months. Like, I do think that's enough time to truly figure out how a person is, unless they're doing some like psychotic shit where they're hiding all of their crazy tendencies until you get hitched. Like, that's more of a woman thing, but
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's
the thing
just
is, it's like, look, like a lot of people don't understand this, but friendships and relationships, like they're built off of layers. Like getting to know somebody, you reveal yourself in layers, right? You reveal yourself in stages. Like
yeah, the
think about a
shirt,
movie.
the,
Yeah.
the pants, then the bras, then the
Well,
panties.
no. Think about it. No, think
Yeah, the layers, Gio. Come on, come on.
See, you don't understand. See, you don't understand. So this is exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
Like, look,
I was
okay,
trying to do a
let's talk
bit where it's
about.
like you
Okay,
strip the layers back and then she's naked. Like
it's not
I was
about.
trying
No,
to
I'm
do
not
that.
talking about sex, dude. I'm just getting to know somebody.
I
Like it's just he might have moved too fast, and again, like you're going to push somebody away if you try too hard. Like, let me give you an example that has nothing to do with romance. Like, let's talk about a film, one that everybody knows. Let's say like the original Star Wars movie, like that. It's hailed as one of the greatest sci-fi movies ever made, for obvious reasons. And the movie follows a very basic formula, the hero's journey. Very, very simple. but the film is revealed, and good movies are revealed to the audience in layers. So there's a beginning, middle, and an end, and there's in between there's exposition. The characters, if they're written well, they're dynamic. So the character is one way in the beginning of the film, but then at the end they're completely different, and it's a slow transition from the beginning to the end. That transformation, people are the same way. People talk about their lives and their background, their story, the way that we consume good cinema. Like
What you're
it's all
saying,
it's
Gio,
there's a
is
beginning,
humans
middle, and
are
an
like
end.
onions. They have
Yeah,
layers.
it's literally the onion theory. This is what is taught in psychology 101 and 102.
It's called Shrek theory now, Gio.
No, this is before Shrek. And
No,
so like when
now we're
like
after
if you're
Shrek.
like okay like think about it like if you're like hanging out with like a group of people and you guys all just friendly, right? And someone starts like talking about like crazy shit that they went through. They're like, yeah, man, I used to get beat by my dad and my mom put out cigarettes on my head and shit. And they're like, whoa, dude, we're just at like a Fall Out Boy concert. Like, what's going on here? Like, it just fucking susses people out. So she probably got sussed out by this dude, but she stuck around because he had money and he had something kind of extravagant to offer that most guys don't, which is multiple trips in 8 months to exotic countries. So, yeah, humans are like onions. Shrek as Jim. I know, right? It's like green skin status confirmed. But it's true. Like you guys can look it up. Like have ChatGPT teach you about that onion theory. Because everybody is like that. Friendships are like that. Like I know somebody. I gotta be very careful here. Who reveals way too much about themselves to random strangers in an effort to impress them. And I want to tell this person, no one is impressed by the stupid shit that you're saying because you're not really funny. And these people don't know you. And it just seems like you're trying to buy affirmation. It just seems like you're trying to buy people's friendship. And you're trying to bypass the crucial steps in making friends. You do, and this is somebody who doesn't have close friends. Like I have close friends that I grew up with since I was in elementary school. There are guys that and girls that I used to work with, at Tesla that I still talk to, when I worked for the government that I still talk to. There are people that like in the trades that I've known for a very long time, and like we're still really really close, and I can always lean on these people. And I think back at the common denominator in how the friendship started and how it's progressed, and it was kind of slow, like not everything just happens at once. And I mentioned that 8 months is too soon. I feel like too much happened too soon. I think this moved way too quickly. But I also think that the woman is a user. I think both
Yeah,
things can be true,
I
and
agree.
that's just what people don't understand. And I notice it with guys who like don't have friends. And again, I know I'm close to somebody. I'm like their only close friend, and I'm just like, you need to learn how to talk to people. And you need to understand that you cannot buy people's affirmation. You can't buy friendship, dude. Like you just can't. Like you can't physically throw money at them. You can't pay them off. Like that's just not how people are. Like if someone's like, "Hey, Froggy, you're so cool, bro. Here's some, money," and I'm like, I don't want anything from you. I don't fucking know you, dude. Like you're
What you're
weird.
saying is you don't want people in chat to super chat
No,
you
first off,
words of
I'm working.
affirmation.
Well, no, no, no. First off, I've talked with you guys for a long time too. This is a show, and I am
Yeah,
entertaining people, and I provide a service. I provide knowledge, all free, of course, and I sincerely appreciate. I'm talking about like in the real world,
yeah,
and
yeah.
people trying to like weasel their way, brute force their way into your life, and there are people who do that. Women try to do that. Mostly men try to do that, I think, and it really really turns people off. Um,
Well,
and
I hope
and
I haven't done that with you,
no,
Gio.
not at all. No, not at all. Like I don't really feel like that with like anybody in the chat for sure, and none of the people that I've spoken with, none of the content creators that I've spoken with, everybody that I've like kind of talked with and like chilled with or whatever, like they've been great. No, if it was someone that you're aware of, I would let you know.
Yeah,
But I'm speaking about people who you guys don't know that I've never mentioned their name or anything, and I never
yeah.
will. I'm just giving you
We
guys an
get you.
example.
We get you.
But yeah, this is this is interesting here. I think this is a good conversation. So proposing to a 37-year-old without being able to see the signs that she wasn't into him to begin with, he's not gonna make it. No, he's probably not gonna make it. Yeah, dude, like you're 40 years old, bro. You're a 40-year-old man. You need to have this wisdom already. Me as a 20-year-old was kind of figured this shit out already. Um I love the Hallmark movie universe, pal. Let's see. She's just deciding if he's better than her ex and the other Hinge notification she's passed on. We're going to need many more vacations to determine that. Brother, you're 40 years old. I feel like there has to be a point where you notice the signs. I don't believe there's a place of return after your proposal gets denied. Move on. Yeah, I don't think there's a way out. I don't think there's a way to salvage this.
No, it's just like the vacations just it'll end
I mean,
in
you were
12
right.
days.
You're
Like
100%
at that
right.
point, like over the next 12 days, just assuming you have one shared hotel room, just make sure your wallet's always on you at all times, that your credit card doesn't suddenly disappear. You just fuck around in the city
No,
and
don't even
then
do that.
get
Oh,
on the
don't even do
plane
that.
ride
Just
home.
get an Uber to the airport and just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah,
Cancel your
exactly.
reservation, like you
Just
said. Cancel your
just fuck
reservations.
off.
Cancel
Like
the
just
yeah
go back home and
yeah
just
yeah. Block.
let's
Do
go.
and while you're doing that, while you're waiting to get on your flight, block her on Instagram, block her on Facebook, block her on Twitter, block her fucking phone number, block her on
It's
everything,
like
block her friends and
just
family. Get rid
yeah.
of them. You don't need to see their updates, and you need to move on with your life, and you need to get with somebody who's more appropriate for you to marry and have a family
she's a
with.
grown ass 37-year-old woman. She's like leaving her high and dry. Like she'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
one
assume
hundred
that she
percent.
has her own ticket. She has her own plane ticket to go back home. The hotel's prepaid. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
she'll figure
let
it
her
out.
pay for a few. Let her pay for Ubers herself. Like she can figure it out.
Yeah.
And then if it really is too much of a big deal for her to afford an Uber every day for 12 days, it's like then oh, she really was only in it for the money you were giving her. Like she's a broke 37-year-old quote businesswoman or whatever. It's like yeah, just dodgeable in every way, shape, or form. So
Yeah,
I don't know if
absolutely.
you want
And again, it's just like, sure. What was I gonna say?
to.
Um, damn, I lost my train of thought because I was listening to that last
Yeah,
part you said.
my
But
my bad,
no,
my
you're
bad.
good. It's not your fault. It's my stupidity.
No,
Um,
it blatantly is my fault. I made you
yeah,
lose
bullet
your.
dodged. What else is there to say? Yeah, there's no salvaging this. It's never been so over. All right, we got one more. Oh man, this one's a fun one. This is a little bit more lighthearted. Bad Billy Pratt divorce? Question mark. So this is from the perspective of a female. My husband is in a state of extreme dread over the state of the United States. So we're both late 30s, male and female, and we live in the U.S. No kids, two dogs. My husband had what I'd call a mental break a couple days ago, calling me from work. I'm currently a stay at home looking to get a job next year. Okay. And he was sobbing. He said he can't focus on anything. He says that he believes that eventually the government is going to come after us and send us to the camps they're building. He says he feels guilty knowing he's white and wants to help the others get out first. But we need to leave. He came home and has called out of work for the rest of the week, and he's just been sitting on the couch scrolling his phone for hours on end. He won't eat. He barely moves. It is beyond heartbreaking right now.
This is great.
Oh, dude, I should be like, yo, Pisco dog, you all right, bro? I should just tag him, but I didn't. Chaz, if you can, place your feet into the shoes of this woman, and your man calls you, ooh, orange man bad, ooh, and then he comes home and he's just like dicking around on his phone on fucking Reddit and shit. What do you do?
Okay, I'm saying this in the perspective of I'm a woman.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
Just grab his phone and just fuck for a few days. Literally, like help him fuck it out of his system.
Oh, okay.
Like this dude needs post nut clarity. No, not the guy in chat, of course, but like he is going through some shit. He's thinking about too much. All he needs to do is get a fat nut, grab a cigarette, take a fat hit of that cigarette, and then just like chill.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know.
Dude, I don't
I
know.
mean,
I would leave
from
him.
the way he's acting, though, I don't even know if that would.
Dude, my pussy. Dude, again, I'm not. I'm a fucking man, and my pussy's dried up reading this shit.
Yeah.
I would.
No,
Yeah, I would probably
I'm
just
just
like. I'd be like, I'm going out to get what I
no,
want. I would
like
just leave him
this.
there. I would just fucking leave him there. It's like, yeah, dude, have fun talking to your stupid friends on Reddit or whatever. And I would just I'd break up with him, dude. Like first off, from the perspective of the man, we can switch sides really quick. All right, so what did he do wrong? First off, he's internalizing like a lot of like retarded shit, like I don't know, being captured by the government and taken to a camp. And he's also imagining himself as a hero. So we got a lot going on here. He's fantasizing about being a hero of brown people and
He's gonna
helping
be
them get
taken.
out first. And
Like
he's
they're
also
coming for him.
imagining that they're going to get captured. So this would suggest a few things. This guy is probably a drug addict. This type of paranoia is generally brought about by extreme drug use. So this dude is definitely on drugs. Which ones? I don't know. Maybe all of them. And two, he's sobbing. He's physically crying, ugly crying over the phone because Orange Man. Yeah, dude, that's like a big fucking red flag. Like again, I just can't imagine any woman having faith in my fucking anybody having faith in my leadership. If I'm crying over like the dumbest shit ever. I mean, this is like the people crying over like the Gaza shit. It's like, bro, it's like, yeah, I don't like what's going on over there. I'm against it, blah blah blah. But like I don't really think about it cuz it's got nothing to do with me at all. And I'm also not arrogant enough to think that I can change it. So I'm just not gonna really cry about it because it's not my fucking problem. It's not my concern. I have worldly shit to worry about. I got to worry about my career. I got to focus on my family. I got to focus on the puppets. You know, I got responsibilities. And if I'm crying about some shit
You got
happening
puppets,
thousands
though.
of miles away from my home that has nothing to do with me, like that's just fucking loser behavior. And if you're just sitting there at your cushy job that you're able to get a week off of PTO or maybe what's it called? It's not FAFSA. The family leave or whatever, the paid family leave that everybody always abuses out here in Vegas for some reason. You're able to do that. Like, dude, you're good, bro. Like, you're good. Like, you're overreacting. Like, no one's gonna get put in camps. Like, none of that's gonna happen. Like, the alligator Alcatraz shit is like overblown. Like it's fine. Yeah, this is just straight up like loser behavior. Let's see what the people are saying. Who cares? They don't have kids. Well, that's kind of brutal, but kind of true. How can she be a stay-at-home mom without kids? Yeah, I know. No kids, no job, and she has the nerve to call herself a stay-at-home. Yeah, she's just a bum. She's just an unemployed bum. She's a stay-at-home what? They have no kids. She's gonna get a job next year. It's July. Laughing emojis. What in the world? Yeah, dude, these people just sound like fucking losers, bro. They sound like their life is probably partially subsidized by their like rich liberal parents. I think this might be fake. I don't think it's fake. I can see this as being real. Dude, I know people who fucking done this before. I'm not even kidding you guys. I remember in 2020 when the Kyle Rittenhouse shit broke out. I think I told this before, but like I was out having lunch with one of my colleagues, and the Kyle Rittenhouse shit got brought up. And I was like, yeah, man, I think that kid's innocent. Like, I don't think he did anything wrong, you know? Like, it's obvious. Like, it's all on video. And he was like, literally fucking, dude, the guy was literally like about to fucking cry, like ugly cry. He's like, he's probably a fucking Nazi, man. He's a fucking Nazi, you know, white supremacist. Blah, blah, blah. He's killing black people. I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out, man. We're at the mall, bro. Like we're at the food court and you're about to fucking cry in front of me. And this guy literally went to go see one of the fucking Avengers movie and he said he cried when Tony Stark died. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like if you fucking cry in front of me at a movie theater over like cape shit, I'm going to get up and fucking leave it. I'm never going to talk to you again. Like I'm not even kidding. I don't want that weakness around me. So I do believe that this is real. I've encountered men like this who literally physically start crying over the dumbest shit. Like Orange Man and people being rounded up, you know, like it's fucking.
But when you finally finish that one puppet and it's perfect, it's beautiful, it's your ultimate creation, and one tear drops out of the eye, that's a manly tear.
It
right,
is a
Gio?
manly tear. Yes, correct. No, the only time that like I've like ugly cried in the recent past was when my dog died, and that's about it. And it was only for like a few hours, and you know, and then like the rest of like the month, I was just kind of like moping around, but.
Does doing that while drunk on a stream a few days ago, is that like a bitch move on my part?
Was it about a dog passing away?
No, I was just like crying because fucking everything. Like
Look, man, sometimes
drunk.
life becomes overwhelming, and I know we spoke before, and sometimes people have legitimate grievances, and like it depends, man. Like, look, if like things aren't going your way, you're overwhelmed, like, and like there is a crisis with men, and men have legitimate grievances. I think that's legitimate. But when you start crying about fucking like Gaza and shit, like you're pretty lame. When you start crying about
Yeah,
Orange Man and camps, like you're really fucking lame. Like, you can't be crying about shit like that. Like you really can't
yeah.
be crying about shit. Like if you're going to go see Avengers and then you start crying when Tony Stark's died, like no. Like this guy, few people that I know, they said that they cried watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I'm like, dude, this movie fucking sucked. I would cry for wasting $30 to see this shit. Maybe that's cry worthy, maybe, but like the movie, no, it's for the birds. No, like, look, every now and then, a good cry is warranted. I almost cried on fucking stream over Adam Krutinger passing away. May he rest in peace. One of the great puppeteers, one of my mentors, and like, look, sometimes when life happens, it's permissible. It's understandable.
When
It's
life gives you
understandable.
lemons, make lemonade.
All right, let's see. Gio wants to wear female footwear. Disavow. Gordita nuda. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Ola, my Latinx brothers. God damn you, Pixie. Anyways, back to the comments really quick. Let's see what else people are saying, because a lot of this is funny. Yeah, everyone's just kind of roasting this fucking like lazy modern woman for just like being at home and doing nothing. Oh my god, they're not genociding us whites fast enough. What do I do? Cries, quits job, wife leaves them. It's unbelievable how psyops destroy these people so easily. Yeah, they do. Late 30s, no kids, say no more. Why did these people even get married? We were going to spend
I
our
mean,
lives together raising our
did they
dogs.
say they were married? They just said did she say
Yeah, my
husband?
husband. Yeah, so it's in the
Oh,
title.
okay, okay.
Oh, oof. That's even worse. Yeah, dude, have fucking kids, man. Like, dude, once you have like a family and you got like shit going on in your life, like none of this shit matters. And that was kind of what I was talking about earlier about like Epstein and stuff. Like, that was probably one of my better rants. It's like, dude, like none of that shit matters. You know, like you'll see like jackasses like, we're not gonna vote our way out of this. Okay, well then what are you gonna do about it? And I told them what I was gonna do. I was like, I'm not gonna consume the goy slop. I'm not going to watch the propaganda. I'm not going to listen to their shitty music. I'm going to reject their messaging, and I'm going to speak out against it and bring people to Christ. And I think that's the right thing to do. Again, like this guy has way too much nothing going on. Yeah, dude, you're in your 30s. Like, yeah, you need to have a family. The dogs don't count. I love animals, but the dogs don't count. They're very low maintenance in regards to, care. So yeah, this is an eye opener, and sadly we're probably going to see a lot of this stuff, and it's probably why so many of these lefty freaks are like all about like the Gaza babies and shit, because they don't have their own, so they treat these like foreigners thousands of miles away as like their own children. It's like, oh, they basically act like the United States government is bombing their kids, or the IDF or whatever. And it's really weird. It's like, yeah, dude, you guys gotta like get a family and get some fucking perspective. Like, you're some fucking losers. These people are such losers, dude. Like, this is how you know this bitch is a loser. Not once was she like, yo, he needs to fucking chill out and not like, be so stupid. Like, what should I say to like tell him to stop being so fucking dumb and to focus on shit that matters? Like, where's
Oh
that
no,
in
if
there?
anything, you know what? At that point, just double down. Just tell them like, "Oh, I just got a phone call from the ICE agents." Oh no, just fully go all in with his
Yeah,
delusion.
yeah, yeah. If I was like not banned on Reddit, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm a stunning and brave Latinx, bro, and they just took mi hermanos and mi mamá and mi papi, and they were saying that they're gonna take him to
Like
alligator
if you have,
Alcatraz, and
like I
they're gonna
assume that
feed him
these
through the alligators, and they're gonna feed me next if they don't like self deport, and then they're gonna
like
get
I
the
would assume that
güeros
this
who
family
try to
has
help us.
like This family probably has, like friends that are Mexican or whatever. So if I was her, I just like call them and like set it up to where like, hey, look, he's gonna try to call you guys in a bit. Don't answer him, no matter what. Do not answer his calls. And you just tell him, "Oh my god, I can't get a hold of like this family. I think ICE got it." It'll frantically try to call, like, "Oh my god, what's going on?
They're like,
They're
oh shit,
getting them."
they're at my door, and then you just like, yeah, have like,
Yeah,
one of the,
yeah.
like the tougher friends that like with Devo's like, come
FBI,
on
open
out,
up!
get out of the fucking house right now, brown boy, get your ass out here, boy, get that
Yeah,
slippery brown ass out here, and I'm like, oh shit, help me, fuck Trump, fucking putos, and then they just like hang up.
yeah.
Oh, dude, the trolling opportunities. There's so many, dude. I would just, oh man, if I had more time, it'd be really fun to troll these people. But I have a job and I have a career. You know, I'm doing shit and I'm working on a lot of fun stuff. I just don't have time for that. Again, all I really have time for is just noticing, and the show. So yeah. Let's see. Post on Clarity. Your show is top shelf, but my J is almost out. Work starts at 7, brothers. At 07 brothers. Yeah, man, dude. I appreciate you guys for joining and hanging out tonight. We had a 3-hour show. We're about to wrap up soon. Let me see. Just want to read some of these comments. The Redditor fantasy novel, Trump bad. Dude, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, dude, this guy is imagining himself as like the woke Jack Ryan who's gonna save brown people and
I thought it
selflessly
was bad
sacrifice
for
himself.
like I thought it was bad for white people to have a white savior complex. They don't need your
Dude, they
white
can't
ass
help
to
themselves,
save
bro.
them.
They can't help themselves. Like they say one thing, but they do
Yeah,
another.
and that's what I love about the left. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like it's like it's bad when white people leave, neighborhoods that are predominantly black, because like, oh, you're fleeing from them. Why are you scared? But then when white people come into a neighborhood and they gentrify it, oh, the white people are ruining the neighborhood. They're like removing our culture and shit. So it's like damned if you
Yeah.
do, damned if you don't. So at that point, fuck it. You
Let's
know.
see. What the fuck is wrong with so many white people? I am embarrassed for us. The brainwashing went too far, dude. Like it's funny because I remember when I was like in college. I was in my like mid to early years in college, and there were like some bros that I played Arma 3 with, and I remember because we were all like really young, and some of them were like still in high school, and I remember like one of them just like going through the school system, and then like as time went on, like slowly but surely, he was like talking about like white privilege and shit, and I was so fucking weirded out by it because like we would never like talk about politics and stuff. It was always like, we got to build the base, we got to do our Armor 3 stuff, and slowly but surely, like whenever it kind of sort of came out, like or the topics of politics came up, like dude, there would be like he would like talk about like white privilege and all this like fucking white guilt shit, dude. It was so weird. Like the propaganda is fucking thick, bros. The psyop is real, the mind fucking is real, and like again, I'm just a dude who notices, and like it helps that like I don't do drugs and shit, and like I don't like pollute my mind with any of this garbage, so I see things, I'll think a little bit more clearly than most, or at least I like to think so. Again, the only metric that I have to kind of lend credence to that claim is that throughout the shows that I do, the things that I say do come true. And for the most part, it does. And that's why, like, again, like I promise you guys, if you cease to consume the goy slop and you live a clean life and all that good stuff, like the good things will come, good things will happen, and I do believe things are going to get better from here on out. And yeah, I'm not going to abandon my president, especially over the Epstein shit, because again, I just don't fucking care that much. I really don't. I know what I need to do, and hopefully others know what they need to do too. However, there I do believe I'm predicting that we will get meaningful closure on on the Epstein stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I don't have anything else. Damn, I honestly didn't have that much to talk about on the show. I had very few topics. I didn't even have a hoax hate or anything like that, and we still went 3 hours. So yeah, solid show, man. I
Dude,
probably
that's
got
just
to.
what happens when you let me yap on.
No, I'm glad you joined, man. You sound like you're in higher spirits at least, and I that's why everybody in the chat was like sad Chaz crashing out or something. It wasn't as bad as like Dean Withers, because that dude crashed out hard, bro.
I don't know who that is.
Oh damn, he's the bro whisperer. he was being made fun of for vaping, and they were making fun of his vape pen, and he was like, it's an anxiety pen, and he like completely chimped out on cam, and he was like practically about to cry. Like the dude gave me like creepy murderer vibes, like for reals. Like
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
wouldn't want to
good.
be alone anywhere with Dean Withers, even though like I'm taller than him and bigger than him, and I could probably whoop his ass. I feel like he would like bring out a knife or like a
Like
gun,
Gio,
dude.
you
Like
don't
I,
fuck with the guy who doesn't have his anxiety vape pen.
yeah, pretty much, because you just never know what these loose cannons are gonna do. You know, I don't want to die. I have shit to live for. You know, so yeah. But a lot of people joined tonight. Thank you. Shout out to all the bitches on BitChute,
Shout out
all
to
the
everyone that I
rumblers.
timed out in chat. Go fuck
Yeah, I
yourself.
apologize for Chaz's behavior. I promise it's not gonna happen again.
I promise
And
it
I
will happen
disavow.
again.
I
Just
disavow the abuse
you
of.
know what? Since your show's ending, post nut put in timeout.
No, fucker.
Brad
No,
put in
stop. I'm gonna
timeout.
take the wrench
No,
away.
it's too late. It's too late. I'm
Disavow.
crashing out, chat. I'm
All right, guys.
crashing
I'm
out.
ending
Yeah,
the
yeah.
stream. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you, everybody. Mwah, much love.